Oof. Tell you what, we've got an absolute cracker on our hands at the moment. Thought I'd have to come on a bit earlier because I tell you what, at the moment, we've got an absolute cracker going on. It's the last over of this match as well. South Africa versus Sri Lanka, and they needed 15 off the last over. David Miller just hit a huge six over mid wicket, and they might be able to do it. You know, they might be able to do it. 168 needed off 4 balls, so to be honest with you, they probably will do it. If all goes according to plan, that's kind of what they're looking at, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get it. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Sri Lanka. Right, this is huge now. Like Kamara's gonna have to bowl really, really well, really well. The last 4 balls here. Oh, 6 again! Oh, he's done it. Oh, that's poor bowling. Oh no. Oh, what a shot from Miller. Flicked into the mid-wicket boundary for 6. What is going on? Sometimes Miller trying to summon his inner Asif Ali, and he's done it. They need 2 of 3. It's done. Done and dusted, mate. Done and dusted. They needed 15 of the last over. It's very defendable. They had it. Hasaranga got them into such a good position. And the rest of the bowlers just have not backed him up. That's really, really poor. It's a leg stump half volley. So poor. Rabada hit a huge 6 the previous over to get them down to 15 needed off this over, but 2 6s in this over, and it's just 6. It's 1-6-6. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. And the Sri Lankan fans look on because this is pretty much over. Lankan says, when was the last time we saw a hat-trick from a bowler on the losing side? It's true. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you. Crazy. Pulled away. That'll be a single. They'll get a single there easy. Oh, they're looking to. They stop. So 1 needed from 2. We can only get a super over here now. Sri Lanka cannot win it from here in this innings. It's crazy. I can't believe this, actually, to be honest with you. A very, very good from Sri Lanka towards the back end here. They had a lot to do. They need 31 of the last 3 overs. They were not going particularly well. Miller's hamstrings a bit tight as well. Wasn't able to run too quickly between the stumps. Kamara, though, just bowled really poorly in this last over, honestly. Yeah, poor. Bowled really well, to be fair, in the previous 3 overs. He actually bowled quite well, but this has been really bad. That's 4 runs. Oh, they do it. And it's Rabada. He hits it over. He hits it over where the slip cordon would be. Hits it over the slip cordon for 4. And South Africa win. And it's a very, very good win. They win by 4 wickets. Sri Lanka, pretty much probably, you can assume, I'd be very, very surprised if Sri Lanka qualified from here. South Africa have given themselves a chance. 2 wins and a loss for South Africa, and now 2 losses and a win for Sri Lanka. So, yeah, South Africa are going to be vying for. Well, they're going to be vying for second spot, aren't they? With the loser of the next match, which we're going to be covering, which is Australia and South Africa. So disappointing if you're a Sri Lanka fan. Very, very disappointing, honestly, because it's not ideal whatsoever. I said I feel bad for Sri Lanka. So do I, and I think Venu will feel bad for Sri Lanka as well. And it's just crazy. Like I think it was a massively just poor over from Kamara that last over. You can't be bowling leg stump full tosses. Yeah, it's poor. It says, Ole out till I die. Who won the toss? So South Africa won the toss, but Sri Lanka. So Hasaranga got a hat-trick. Sri Lanka were in a fantastic position to do it. But Adil says England won the toss. So England won the toss. So let me update that. I can't get over this, to be honest with you. What just happened? So England won the toss. What they like to do, let's have a quick look. Team news, I'm sure, is out as well. So let's have a quick look at that as well. I can't believe it. Actually, honestly, like surprising to say the least. Honestly, uh, yeah, disappointing. Genuinely disappointing. Um, yeah. South Africa, though, really, really good. Really, really good stuff from South Africa in the end. Really poor from Sri Lanka at the end. Yeah. Harris says, poor bowling. He had to bowl wide Yorkers, maybe. I think that's what he was trying to bowl leg stump Yorkers. I think that's the issue. He tried to bowl leg stump Yorkers and it didn't come off. He ended up bowling leg stump half volleys, which is really poor. Yeah, just extremely poor, honestly. Anyways, yeah. England versus Australia next, and South Africa will be looking to vie with whoever loses this match. They'll be pushing for second place. Whoever wins this will be looking for first place. Yeah, a really impressive win though from South Africa. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen here, and then we'll get up the teams actually when they are announced as well. England win the toss and elect to bowl first. So we're going to have Australia. They're going to be the ones batting. Very interesting to see how David Warner and also how Aaron Finch go. Warner looked very good in the previous match against Sri Lanka. Obviously, this is a bit of a different proposition. I think in terms of the pace bowlers, anyway, Sri Lanka do have some good spinners, so that's not. I don't want to kind of put the spinners down. I think they're very, very good. But in terms of the paces, I mean, there's a difference in class there. They've definitely got the pace, the Sri Lankan seamers, but as we just won that last over, not particularly consistent. Hara says, I mean, England versus Australia, who won the toss. So England just won it and they've elected to bowl. Reno says, poor last over, but killer Miller comes to the party. Indeed. I mean, look, he still had to hit those sixes, right? I mean, it's easy for us to say that it was poor. Yeah. Really, leg stump half volleys, like really, really poor. I mean, it almost reminded me a little bit of the Ben Stokes over to Carlos Brathwaite, just bowling length, like bowling, just rubbish. Like bowl full outside the off stump, wide Yorkers, as Horace said, or even just bowl any type of Yorker. They hit you for six and it's a decent ball, then like you just have to sometimes say well played, but you can't bowl half volleys at this level. Horace says England bowling they are and says Hasaranga hat trick though. Yeah, I mean the ball that he got Markram out with was an absolute beauty, like genuinely phenomenal delivery. And he's just a phenomenal player, Hasaranga. He really is. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. We're going to do a preview, of course, of the teams as well. What do you guys think about? Yeah, I guess in terms of who I'm assuming most of you are going to say England have the upper hand in terms of considering they've just won the toss, but two, they seem the stronger T20 side overall. And what kind of score do you think Australia need to get to really push England? I think is the big question as well. England elect to field. Yeah, they do indeed. Fazan Khan says, have you noticed that a lot of teams in this World Cup are losing close games, just don't have the bowling depth. They end up losing because of the performances of their fourth or fifth bowlers. Yeah, no, 100% agreed. It's crazy because honestly, they had it pretty much until that last over. 15 of the last over, like it's doable for the batting team, but it's also doable for the bowling team. It's not impossible to defend that. It's actually, you've got quite a few runs on the board there, but he started off so poorly. Now the single, you're like, that's fine. Robardo got Miller on strike, and then it was just 6-6, and you're just like, come on. This is really poor. Just the length that he was bowling and the line. It's just anyone in the world who's a decent enough player will be dispatching that. And that's exactly what David Miller does. He's not just an average player. He's a very, very good player, is David Miller. And he showed that. Guys, as well, thanks for joining early on here for the preview. And obviously, we're going to do the whole watch wrong as well. Do like the video if you don't mind. Really does help us out, liking the video. I can see a couple of you have. Thank you for those who have. If you haven't, please do like the video. It really helps us out. And it'll get more people into the stream to hang out with you guys. And also do subscribe as well if you haven't already. Reno says England versus Australia mini ashes. Yeah, that's kind of what it is, isn't it? Yeah. We'll see. We'll see, right? We shall see. I will also have Matt on as well, actually, to do the first half. So it'll be two of us doing the first innings, which will be quite cool. But yeah, really, really interesting to see how this one goes. Oh, we've got the teams out. So, oh no, they just skipped it so quickly. Why they skipped it so quickly? I'll get the teams up for you guys anyway, though. I hate when they do that. Like, so they went through the teams like that. Like, how much got through that? Let's get them up for you guys, though. Yep, the teams are out. So let's get them up for you peeps to have a look at, shall we? Well, I think we should. Yeah, let's go. Right. So let's have a quick look. There we go. Right, let's get it a bit bigger for you guys. You don't want to like that, do you? There we go. Right, so in terms of the team news, we've got David Warner, Aaron Finch, which is to be expected. Glenn Maxwell, Steve Smith, Marcus Stoinis, Matthew Wade, Pat Cummins, Ashton Agar, Mitchell Stark, Adam Zampa, and Josh Hazelwood. So they are unchanged apart from, well, I say they're unchanged apart from one decision, which is Mitch Marsh, which is very interesting. So they brought in Ashton Agar in for Mitchell Marsh. A bit harsh, I would say, on Mitchell Marsh because he was batting at 3 previously, and he was batting quite well at 3 as well. That's quite, yeah. I mean, I'm wondering why they've done that. Yeah. Let's see actually whether I wonder whether Mitchell Marsh is injured or whether it was just a case of, you know what, they think that the extra spinner will help. I think Ashton Agar is a very decent, very decent player. That obviously gives you the left arm spin and also can bat down the order as well. Mitchell Marsh is definitely a better batsman, that's for sure. And they haven't really used Mitchell Marsh's bowling in previous games. I guess they're saying, well, we've got Stoinis, who's probably not as good a bowler as Mitchell Marsh, in my opinion, but can bowl a couple of overs, and also he's a better finisher than Mitchell Marsh, and he's probably a better bat overall in T20 stuff. So that's probably what they're looking at. Horace says England will win, hopefully. Okay, so looking for England to win. Horace says, as a British, Pakistani, I want England to win. But when it's Pakistan versus England, I want Pakistan to win. Yeah, well, that's pretty understandable. Horace, England team news. Matt says, I'll be along soon. And Horace says, is Moyne playing? So, yeah, let's go through the England one then. So I think the English team is unchanged. It is unchanged, if I'm not mistaken. Jason Roy, Just Butler to open up. Dowd Milan at 3, Johnny Bairstow at 4, Morgan at 5, Liam Livingston at 6, Moeen Ali at 7. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think Moeen Ali will probably come in at 5 or 6. I think Morgan will probably be at 7, maybe Livingston at Morgan at 6, maybe Livingston at 7. But that kind of from 3 to 7 is quite fluid, that batting lineup. So I guess it depends on who's coming on to bowl. Johnny Bairstow, for example, is very good at playing spin. So if spin is on, they might then put Bairstow up the order at 3 if the openers do well enough, for example. But they've got that fluidity in there, which, to be fair, so do Australia. Again, Glenn Maxwell will come in early. I think if the spinners are on, if they lose early wickets, Steve Smith will come in probably at 3. So very interesting there. The only thing I would say about the Australia team is they've got a longer tail with Mitchell Marsh not in the team. Ashton Agar, yeah, I mean, he can bat, as I said, but he's not as good a bat as Mitch Marsh. So I already thought they had a pretty long tail, 8 downwards, with Pat Cummins at 8. Pat Cummins at 7, while Ashton at 7. That's an even longer tail, personally. Chris Wokes is in there as well. Chris Jordan, Arthur Rashid, and Tymor Mills, who's been really impressive. He's genuinely been a standout. And I think, yes, you can't replace Jofra Archer, but he's done a very good job, I think, covering for the pace of Jofra Archer. Mark Wood is injured, I think, still. So interesting to see if Mark Wood does get fit again and does come back. Will he come back in for Tymor Mills? Horace says, is Venus still mad? I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just interesting. Very, very interesting, honestly. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I would assume that with England, bowling first, they'll be looking to restrict Australia to anything kind of under the 150 mark. They'll probably be confident chasing anything, honestly, with this batting lineup, and they can bat really down to 7 easily. I mean, Chris Wokes can bat, so can Chris Jordan, so can Arthur Rashid. I think the only one that I can safely say is not a particularly good stick, as the Aussie would say, is Tymor Mills. But on the Aussie side, Mitchell Stark can whack, but Zampa and Hazelwood can't. So I think that kind of definitely plays a part. And on paper, the English side is definitely stronger, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this as well. I think it's going to be a really, really intriguing match, and I'm just wondering what factors come into play. Of course, the Duke come into play in the chase, which is probably why England have won the toss. Also, they like chasing nowadays, which is quite funny because back in the past, people would they would actually not want to chase, especially a team like Pakistan, because they were scared of collapsing and the pressure of chasing, especially in white ball cricket, so ODIs and T20s, actually when T20s first came about. Nowadays, however, it's actually about, well, hold on, we've got a total, then we know what to chase, we know what we need to get, we can then plan accordingly, and we actually back ourselves and we hit big enough that we're not worried about, for example, in that last game that Sri Lanka South Africa just had, South Africa had 15 to get the last over, and David Miller just backed himself and got it, which is, I guess, pretty much the T20 way now. They're not worried. And, if they need 15, 16 off the last over, they'll take it deep. And the bowlers actually feel more pressure than the batsmen when it comes to the chase now, which is not how it used to be. So it's quite interesting, to be honest with you, in that sense. Guys, as well, thank you very much for tuning in. Please do remember to like the video if you haven't already. Helps us out a great deal. And subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Twitter, please do follow us on Twitter and retweet the stream if you don't mind. And if you're watching on Twitch, do get involved by liking the stream and also following us as well. I do appreciate it. And if you're watching on Twitch and Twitter, come over to YouTube as well and like the video and subscribe. Helps us out. Thank you. They're just talking to Jos Butler. And okay, he's a very diplomatic answer, to be fair. He could have said a lot worse. He basically said, so it was Atherton asking Jos Butler, do you think this is going to be a sterner challenge than the previous game that they had, which was against Sri Lanka? Bangladesh, sorry, if I'm not mistaken. And he said yes. But every game does provide its different challenges. So well said, because I think Bangladesh is still a good side. Let's not, play down a team. No, they haven't had a good tournament, but they are not a bad side at all. Harris says, what's your Twitch channel? My Twitch channel is Quality Shot. One word from what I know. Let me just double check that. But yeah, Quality Shot, one word. No, sorry, Quality Shot 1. So Quality Shot 1 is my Twitch channel. All one word, Quality Shot 1. 1 the number. So yeah, do check it out. Do follow us on there. And if you don't mind, helps us out, like the stream, all that good stuff. All right, says, what's the ground like? So it's in Dubai, so it will play similar to how the previous matches have in Dubai. So obviously yesterday we had Pakistan versus Afghanistan in Dubai, so I guess it will play similar to that, which I thought was a pretty decent batting track. It did turn in grip, actually, especially for Rashid Khan. He was bowling big googlies and it was gripping, so that might be why Australia, and it might not even be a case of a tactical change, or it might be more, sorry, a case of a tactical change than injuries, but they brought in Ashton Agar. Hold on. We are going to be playing on a track that's going to turn more. Let's cash in, right? So that might be why, which is interesting. So we'll see what happens in terms of how the bowlers for England show up. But Moeen Ali, Al Rashid, and Liam Livingstone will be crucial. I mean, early matchups is so obvious. Moeen Ali versus David Warner is the first match because most likely they're going to open with Moeen Ali again, as he has done in previous matches. So Moeen Ali bowling to David Warner early doors in the first over or two, depending on whether he normally bowls the first one. So I'd assume it'll be the first one, but they normally try and get him 2 overs at the start. In the past couple of games, he's actually managed to bowl more than that. I think against West Indies, he actually bowled through at the start. He bowled 4 in a row because there's so many left-handers in that in that West Indies lineup. Here, he's got 1, 2, 3, and then I guess Stark and Hazel are the 2 tailenders, so they're 5. But in terms of in the top 4, there's only got 1 potentially. Warner, Wade comes in later as does Agar. So I think they'll probably look to bowl more into Warner, keep him quiet, potentially get him out, get the wicket as well of Warner. The only issue is that matchup is all well and good, but if he doesn't manage to tie Warner down from one end, then Finch will be on strike, and Finch absolutely loves off spin, and most likely he will go to town on Moeen Ali. He loves spinning. Moeen Ali doesn't bowl a googly. He bowls a straight one, a top spinner, a bit different variations in terms of flight of the delivery, and speeds is where he excels, and guile and being accurate. So Finch likes to use his feet. He likes the ball spinning in towards him, as most batsmen do, but he's very good, exceptionally good at playing off spin. So I think that could be an issue. So we'll see how that turns out. And then obviously you've got Tymor Mills, who most likely will take the second over, and the left-hander to Warner is quite an interesting proposition. But also, if he manages to get the ball to shape in a little bit into Finch, he will have issues, especially if he's going to bowl at high pace, which Tymor Mills does, and we've seen with Shaheen Afridi, and we've seen in the past with people like Mitch Stark, that if you bowl at pace and bowl full, there is an issue because it's very, very tough to face. So we shall see. They're just having a look at the difference with Mitch Stark, I guess, in that South Africa game where he didn't bowl particularly well in the first over anyway, and then against Sri Lanka bowled a lot better, a lot fuller actually, but on the spot, not much width either, just really tucking in the batsmen and making them play off the front foot and making them feel uncomfortable. Hara says, you reckon Pakistan can hopefully beat Namibia and Scotland comfortably because we can be that team that beats the best, I think, honestly, Pakistan on paper should obviously beat Namibia and Scotland. I think the only issue might be complacency, and also Namibia and Scotland, to be fair, they've got nothing to lose, these two teams, and they're looking to put on their best displays. And I wouldn't be surprised if they cause an upset. I'm hoping it's not to Pakistan, but you never know. You never know. So I would say, realistically, Pakistan should win them. Will they? Though is another question. But yeah, they're definitely favourites going into those two games, so we shall see. Fazan Khan says, realistically, how do you rate South Africa's chances to go through? Or Group 1 is pretty much going to be Australia, England going through. It's just a matter of which order. No, I don't think it will be, because obviously now South Africa, really, it was a case of the earlier game, whoever wins that will be vying for second spot with the loser of this game. Because if we look at how the group is shaping up, Bangladesh have lost their first two matches. They're not going to qualify, unfortunately. That's just the way it is, I think. West Indies have won one. They are definitely... Sorry, West Indies have won one, but they've lost two. Bangladesh have lost three, if I'm not mistaken. So, in fact, let's have a look at the table. Should we get them up? Let's get them up. I think that, honestly, it's going to be tough. So, if we look at the tables now, so West Indies and Bangladesh both have played three matches. West Indies have won one, lost two. Bangladesh have lost three. So, Bangladesh are out of it completely. So, done, right? The only thing that they can do by affecting the group is by beating other teams, and then obviously that will help shape and then cause upsets and shape the group. West Indies, they've got a very outside chance. They would need to win the next two matches and then hope that results go their way. But Australia and South Africa and England, so England and Australia and South Africa are all on the same amount of points now, on 4 points. Whoever loses this obviously will stay on 4 points. So that is the key. That's the key. Because at the moment, South Africa have a run rate of 0.21. Most likely, whoever wins, unless it's a thrashing, they probably hope South Africa that England win. Because if England win and Australia have a run rate of 0.7, England have a run rate of 3.6 because that West Indies win, which is an absolute thrashing. So, honestly, I would say if we're looking at it, honestly, if I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, well, okay, basically, I would go with South Africa or Australia. I don't think it's nailed on. I think it depends. But we'll see how this game goes, really, because I think if England lose it, you'd back them, I guess, over South Africa. If Australia lose it, you don't know. I think it can go either way. And I'm trying to think who they've got. Obviously, Australia, if they lose it, they've already played England. South Africa have to play England still. They played Sri Lanka, and they've also played West Indies. They've also played Australia. They have Bangladesh next. So Bangladesh is a winnable match. They should win it. Australia haven't played Bangladesh yet either. England already have. We'll see. I mean, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh and West Indies all have a lot to say in this match in terms of, having an impact in the group. That's the thing, right? And I think anyone can beat anyone. They're having a look, actually, they're showing areas bold from works. And it's funny, they've got the circle, which is like how you have it in the cricket games. If anyone plays or has played like cricket, what was it, 2002 or 2005 or whatever, or 2006, they used to have their little markers when someone was bowling, which is quite funny. They basically got that, which is quite cool. So, we're having a bit of a laugh at that. Right, so that's my thoughts on the group. And then in terms of Horace saying, I think Moyne may not open the bowling because of Finch, but I would still start with him. Yeah, I would as well. We'll see. I think they're going to go with Rashid, honestly, but we'll see. Matt, how you doing?
Afternoon. How you doing, mate? You good?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
Fashionably early. By that I mean just about 2 minutes to go. So it's one of those. I'm just getting the broadcast up on my other screen. It won't be too long.
Nice one, no problem.
The Sri Lanka game was good, wasn't it?
Very good. Very good. I mean, I think they actually messed it up, to be fair.
Yeah, it's one of those 15 sounds a lot until you bowl 2 balls in the slot, and then you sort of go, yeah, actually, maybe someone should win that.
I mean, you needed 50. I was quite loud. I can hear it.
Actually, the way that
can you hear on my side?
Yeah. Basically, we'll get done for copyright if you can hear it. Unfortunately, Sky will be like,
just mute it. Let me drop out the stream and I'll come back. Yeah,
that's fine. No worries. Fazan says, "Holy crap! If you put it that way, there's still an outside chance that England may not go through." Yeah, it's true, and that's the case. It's definitely the case. England have to still win their games. It's not a dead cert that they're through, for sure. If England lose today, then they're definitely in the same position as South Africa. And if it comes down to run rate, then the most likely they will be going through, but we don't know that, right? So most likely it'll be results driven. You don't know. England could lose to Sri Lanka, for example. Sri Lanka have probably got weapons that can definitely give England some issues. So we'll see. Oh, they're going to open up with Adil Rashid, which is interesting. So we said that they might not open up with Moyne. They're going to open up with Adil Rashid because of the matchup to Finch. The matchup obviously is Moyne Ali to David Warner. The problem is that Finch opens. He's won. So they're going to open up with Finch first and Warner. So I think they're going to go with Rashid here.
It doesn't surprise me. If you're going to attack, you might as well attack. Because I think you mentioned earlier around Australia's top order being quite it being quite a long tail.
Yeah.
If you take 1 or 2, just force those lesser batsmen to face more balls. Really, sort of.
Agreed. But it's interesting because Warner's actually taking the first ball. So if Warner's taking the first ball, I'd actually go with Moyne. But the only issue is that Finch is so good against off spin. Like his strike rate is phenomenal. So maybe they're just thinking Rashid can bowl googlies, whereas Moyne can't. So he can just bowl a couple of googlies to Warner, get him off strike, and then there you go. He's got Finch on strike. First ball, just tucked down the ground. Rashid diving to try and stop the single, and that's why. There you go. Finch dismissals in T20s in 2021, 64% to leg spinners.
Wow.
You're
ahead of me on the broadcast, so I
am I?
I can get treated.
Getting treated.
I just if I can't hear Rob Key, I'll hear you. That's fine. I'll have to hear something.
Because it's just me or Warner's moustache gets big with every game. I don't think he's trimmed it too, has he? Or bowled just on a 4-stump line, but well defended by Finch. Just prods at it, no run. Let's have a look.
We're bringing back Stuart Broad just for this one game. Just
to Warner. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just a regulation leg spin. It didn't really turn too much, though.
Yeah.
Be interested to see how much it turns early doors. Yesterday, it turned quite a lot in the Pakistan-Afghanistan match, especially in the second innings anyway. Or bowled again. Finch even trying to use his feet, but just pads out the way outside line the stump, so no run again. For Warner trying to bring out his inner David Boom, maybe indeed, for sure.
It's an interesting field.
It is.
Someone in quite close in the covers.
Yeah, agreed. Or bowl googly into Finch. Finch gives himself room, cuts towards point, but no run again. So it's a very good over so far anyway by England and Adil Rashid. It's good to have that versatility, isn't it? With, I guess, a spinner can open the bowling for you. One Ali's been doing it, but they've got Rashid to do it today.
Yeah, which is odd because I think you almost have to see Moen as you're trying to get 3 overs out of him, aren't you?
Yeah, you are. Well, he's bowled 4 the last 2 matches. To be fair, what a shot from Finch, by the way, as well. Just used his feet, got a picture of the ball, and hits Adil Rashid over mid-off for 4. So England will be a little bit disappointed because it was going quite well, but that boundary will give Finch confidence. And they bowled Adil Rashid in the first over to try and get him out here early. Doesn't seem to be working out that way. Last ball of the over. Yeah, well bowled, but just tucked into the leg side off the back foot by Finch and a single. So 6 off it. And they'll be quite happy with that, Australia, to be honest with you.
I was going to say that I think actually, if you think 7 and over has been roughly the average for most teams, just over 7.5, 8-ish, just to take 6 isn't too bad, really. And to take away 6 balls of Rashid as well when you might get wickets elsewhere. So that's pretty useful.
Agreed. I don't think England are going to give him another one. I think they might go with Moyne from that end, but they're going to go with Wokes, which is probably a good option from the other end. Harris says pointless delivery. Which delivery are you talking about? Let me know. Would you go with Wokes or Time or Mills?
Mills, just for the pace, just to push him back a bit. But England seem quite happy to bowl Mills around the 8th or 9th over. And just using to kind of hurry batsmen when they're trying to score 1s and 2s, really. So it's interesting matchups.
It is, and they're obviously looking at the matchups, and I think Rashid, obviously, they looked at the leg spin to Finch. That's why they open. Rashid didn't quite work for them, but
it's very interesting how it's changed now. It almost feels like baseball, because in baseball they've focused on matchups, righties versus lefties, how they do that, certain pitches, etc. This has been a real switch. I mean, I've not really noticed that we talk about so much really over the last.
Well, bowl from Wokes, just a good length, and Finch punches it straight to mid-on for a single. It's funny because when I talked to Benny Howell, he also plays for Gloucester, he's like a massive T20 player, I guess, in the Blast, and obviously played really well on the 100 as well for Birmingham Phoenix. And he was saying to me that he thought that when I had two chats with him, the first one though, he said to me that he picked up his slower balls from baseball.
Okay.
So he played a summer of baseball on the off season from cricket, and that's how he picked up all his different variations of slow balls. Because he said in baseball they have all these different variations. And he also said about matchups. Baseball's a lot more ahead of cricket in terms of analytics.
Yeah.
But then when he played in the 100, he said that the 100 had adopted those analytics, and he was really enjoying it. And about matchups, etc. What a delivery from Wokes. He's got him. Has he got him? Oh, they're set. Oh, hold on.
I'm gonna have to believe you.
Well, the umpire hadn't moved. But Warner's walking off. It's a nick behind. Yeah, it's a beautiful delivery from Wokes across the left-hander of Warner. Warner goes to cut him towards the point boundary, but gets an outside edge and straight through to Buttler. The umpire didn't even, I think it's Erasmus, didn't even put his finger up because it was that dead. Let's have a look. Yeah, a bit of seam away, and it was actually just tried to fend it off, Warner.
Yeah, it's one of them when you twitch as it goes past, wants to hit it.
He's almost trying to play it, and then he's at the last second. He's like, I probably should leave that, but it's too late, and he just hung his bat out there. I says the one he tossed up, out, exactly, well bowled by Wokes, and that's a big wicket because he looked really good in Sri Lanka in the last match. He really did. I think we've got to give him props for that last innings, and He looked like he might be coming back in some form, but that's a good wicket for them to get. Interesting now with 2 righties in, maybe they will continue with Rashid potentially, because I assume Steve Smith will come in now because Mitch Marsh has been dropped for Ashton Agar. Because they wanted an extra spinner in there. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. As Steve Smith said, I did an interview actually with the Great Cricketer. You know, a couple of interviews I've shared in in our group. So he did, and he basically said, you know, my role is really that if we lose wickets early on the power play, I come in and try and fix the game.
Yeah,
they just try and get us stable, and then you know he says the big boys can come in and hit basically, but I'm going to come in and fix. So he'll be the anchor. So yeah, he's in now. Average of only 29, which you know I think is probably something that he looks at because it's definitely his weakest format. He's so good in Test matches. What a beauty from Wokes to start off. Squares up Smith. And in his weird way, he might say that was a lead, but he just got completely outplayed, though. What a delivery. Fazan says, Aussies walking off without the umpires asking them to. What is happening there? Oh, God.
Thank God for technology.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. It's funny, I think, was it Adam Gilchrist, didn't he? And he got slated, I think, by his team. It's quite funny. Bowled by Wokes, bit of shape away, actually, off the seam as well. And pace a little bit up there, 85 miles per hour as well. So good stuff. Really good stuff from Wokes early doors, actually.
He's a very useful bowler to have in this sort of format.
It's funny because he wasn't actually in the T20 setup until the last 6 months. And he's opening one of the ODIs. You would have thought, you know, he complements Jofra Archer really well in the ODIs and the ODI stuff. So here they've kind of now gone with him and he's doing a good job. And I'm not surprised because he's quite tidy, bowls good lines, and got good control. Appealing, probably hit that. Yeah, right. Yeah, he is.
Got 2 slips in. Unbelievable.
Yeah. 2 slips in to Steve Smith. Surprising. They're not going to review it. They're going to... Yeah, there's no need to review that. It's way too high.
Can you hear me now? There you go.
Yeah, can you?
That's odd. I don't know what happened there. It's I think it's because my laptop's been doing the Windows 11 updates in the background, so it's one of them. It's probably struggling to get through.
Okay, no worries. Yeah. I think it's me, Matt. So do you want to take over?
Yeah, sure. I'm there for how long we want to? It's fine. I didn't realize Chris Jordan was 33. He's wild. I thought he was. Afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. You just see what happens here with Australia. Only going at 4 and over, which is pretty slow. Oh, he's plumped that up. Oh, what a grab by Wokes. Wow, that's a hell of a catch. Wow. What a grab. Whew. I have to watch that again. He's right on his tiptoes there, trying to grab that. Almost like a rush, Steve Smith, or he's almost trying to pull it from too far outside of off stump, and it's plonked on him off the toe end of the bat. Yeah, he's top edge weighted. Did the shot way too early. I mean, that is a catch, and that is a brilliant start. Wow. I don't think England can be any happier, really, with this. This is probably the best start we could hope for. 2 down. Very, very impressed with the start on this one. Pitch seems quite tennis bally from what I can see for the first couple of balls. It's interesting that pace is actually making more the inroads rather than the spin options, which have been obviously for the last few games, etc. Fazan, yeah, you're correct. He was just 4 inches short. That's literally it. I mean, if not an inch, really, it was one of them. It sort of nestles right in the tip. Lucky he was tall enough and actually able to grab it. But it's one of the typical things you put 2 slips in or a slip in, and it always goes everywhere. But to be honest with you, but. It'll be interesting how Australia play this now. If they're seeing this as a pitch where you're only going to be able to get 140 or not, or if they're going to still go bigger but have to build a bit of a platform here. That's a great ball as well from Jordan. Oof. That's left Maxwell fending outside the off stump. Chance to just drill it for a single. One of those ones that if you try and hit it too hard, it goes 4,000 miles the other way. Fazan, hi, you're back.
Yeah, what a grab by Wokes.
No.
What a grab.
Crazy catch.
Carnage and advantage England, that's for sure.
I think we're all over them. To be honest, I'm a little bit shell shocked, really, actually, as to how well this is going. I really was not expecting it.
Yeah, really well bowled. And Jordan on now as well, so he's been bowling well, leading wicket taker for England in T20s.
Oh, what a grab that is.
It's such a good catch, though. One-handed over. It's basically, don't really expect him to take it. What a good effort, and the manager's to just take it.
Well, it's one of those whole ones. I'm sure he's having to decide whether he wants to run backwards like that and reach, or if he wants to turn around and run and catch it over his shoulder. But
yeah,
over the shoulder is always horrible. But either way, you look a fool if you get it wrong. So,
exactly. Yeah, crazy.
So Sam Billings then on the field. Is he's not playing? Is he just?
No, he's in the squad, so I think obviously you can rotate.
Fielder,
yeah, he's a sub fielder. So, yeah, he's a good fielder though. To be fair, Billings.
He is good, but I'm still not sure how we get away with that, given that it was only in the second or third over. No one's gone off injured, as far as I can see. But unless they can go off for drinks to speed the game up.
Yeah, it might be to do with drinks, given the heat, I guess, potentially.
Yeah. I didn't actually know the temperature out there.
I'm not sure, actually. It's probably worth having a look at. I might have a look in a sec. I'm just going to get my stream back on. But yeah, there you go. Steve Smith, man. He doesn't look the same in T20 cricket.
No, because I think what makes him so successful in other parts of the other forms of the game is the discipline to leave balls alone. Like that's one of his massive skills that he has, that he doesn't play those balls outside the off stump and nick off to them. He's very happy to just either leave them because he's so in line with the ball that he knows where his off stump is perfectly every single time. That it's almost in this one where he's forced to have to hit the ball and actually play with his hands a bit more often. Actually, he can get caught out, but then he should have just 30, or 29, whatever it was. He's hardly scoring nothing. It's
Still, it's in T20 stuff. It's still a good average. Anything kind of over 25 is good. 11 for 2 off 3 overs. So Australia's struggling here early doors, and they need to rebuild. Maxwell's in, so the big show, as I like to call him. Flicks into the leg side.
This Australian core is getting old as well for these kind of top batsmen. They're the top order batsmen who they've had for a while. They're actually finishing around for donkeys, haven't they, really? So I suppose they'll be there for next year's.
Yeah, next year's in Australia, so they'll do that. But then after that, not really sure how much longer they have left. So they definitely need to, get a move on and find some successes. I'm not quite sure who they go with, honestly.
No, because it's almost like the Australian model now is to have lots of people who can bat 3 to 7, and just move them up and around as and when needed. And opening this one is quite a tricky thing to do.
Yeah, agreed. It's like a very fluid batting lineup between kind of 3 and 7. I guess it's quite similar to England as well, because Milan, I mean, if the spinners are on, they might bring in Bairstow as they did. I think it was against Bangladesh. It was actually.
Yeah.
Maxwell 4 off 6, so it's being tied down a little bit. The issue with Maxwell is that if he doesn't get off to a good start, he can get frustrated and then end up getting himself out trying to play and go too big.
All looking a bit miserable on the bench for Australia.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? They're looking very miserable. And
that one's with the Justin Langer effect anyway.
Yeah, JL is not having a great time of it, is he? There's only 2 off the over, though, and 3 balls remain. That's well played by Maxwell, just tucked into the leg side. They're looking for 2. They should get 2. It's a fumble as well. It's good running between the wickets between Maxwell and Finch. And to be fair, that top 4, Finch, Warner, Smith, and Maxwell are all very good between the wickets, running wise, which makes a big difference. Can add 10 to your score by running better than most others.
Which is particularly massive, given that 140 is looking like quite a challenging score, or 150 at least is looking like quite a heavy target to have to face up to.
Agreed. Oh, he's giving him. Oh, it Wokes to Maxwell, nice and full, probably hitting leg stump. They might review it and think it's going down leg. It's very full though, so I don't think it's going to be about height. It's going to be about whether it's. And I know they're going to review it. He's definitely not hit it because he's talking to Finch. They do review it in the end. I think that's plum. That's plum.
I'm going to watch it now live. Oh, that's gone. Middle of the leg out the ground.
Yeah.
Not be.
They said poor shot in the end from Maxwell. And he's put that straight. The issue is that Maxwell, you don't really see him hit many on drives. It's not kind of a Maxwell shot. I was saying he felt he could target Jordan but flopped. Charles says the tables have turned after 12 decades of Aussie domination over the Palms for today's match. England with a clear favourite. Even in the upcoming Ashes, Palms start as favourites down under. No, I don't think they do. I think the Aussies start as in the Ashes. The Aussies definitely start as favourites personally. What do you think?
I can't get away from that. I think one day, yes, we have taken them over, but I think in the test arena, it's so much a test now down to the home conditions and how well you can actually find a way of getting through it.
Thing is, start Cummins and Hazelwood in those conditions as well. Like, it's just carnage. But I think I agree. White ball stuff, England, and also test matches in general, yes. But in Australia, they're just having a ball tracking. Yes, crashing into leg stump, the middle of the leg stump. But yeah, what do you think? I mean, with Stokes is a big plus, isn't he? I guess being back.
I think
that's a big plus.
But I don't think that's enough to
turn the tables.
Yeah, but then I think with Stokes, he might win you 1 game out of the 5. It's whether he wins you 3. That makes you to win the whole tournament. Or to the whole
which I doubt. I doubt, to be fair.
No, I think England still need that top order, and you're always going to need that in Australia to actually.
Stokes is a generational talent that people forget. Like he only averages 35 still, so he's not. He's not an elite test bat. He's an elite test player because he's an all rounder, right? So he's an elite all rounder.
He's no Jacques Callis, put it that way. I'm happy to get that.
Yeah, he's not as consistent as Jacques Callis. Yeah, no way. Stoinis in at 5, but then still got years to play. So who knows? He could go on a ridiculous run. He's got a talent too, that's for sure. Stoinis at 5. So Australia reeling here really at 15 for 3. I was saying, gone and Fazan Khan says Maxwell Afridi. You go big or you go home. Probably shouldn't have sent him in at this time. He didn't even try to go big, to be fair. He just it wasn't a slog. It was just a flick into the leg side and just timed it.
He planted his front foot and didn't move and just missed it with a bat.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Just fell over his front foot. 100%.
Mr. Big Levers, Marcus Stoinis.
Yeah. His interview with the Great Cricket is hilarious. Well worth a watch if anyone hasn't seen it. Did you watch it?
I haven't watched all of it. No. I watched the clip that you posted on on your Instagram, but I've not seen the whole half an hour thing yet.
It's so funny. It's so funny. It's definitely worth watching. So I'd recommend anyone who's interested in a bit of a laugh to watch it. It was very, very good. Right, so Wokes and I mean, to be honest, England in general just causing havoc, and the spinners haven't even come on. Apart from that one over from Rashid, Rashid will have a field day in the middle overs for the most part, and Moyne hasn't even come on yet. So Moyne will probably come on, I guess, when Wade comes in with Agar potentially, because two lefties with a match up there. So they're definitely in trouble. They need to be careful here now, Australia, because I'm not sure what's a good total here for Australia now. Let me know in the chat. Charles says Chris Wokes is arguably the most underrated cricketer in the international arena. Agree? Yeah, I think he's one of them. What do you think?
I do think he's quite underrated. I think his batting is overrated and his bowling is underrated, is how I describe it. I think he's a useful batsman, but I don't think he's a number 7 in Test, etc. But I think actually in terms of his bowling, he's more than a useful first change. You know, I think if anything, he could have he could have the new ball in England.
Or Jordan nearly getting a Finch, a similar delivery to that Wokes one to Maxwell. But I think or they'll review it. But I reckon that's too high. I reckon that one's too high. We'll see. The umpire gave it not out. They're going to review it. It was Finch trapped on the front leg, or the front dog, as the Australians will call it. So Lanka says, watching all the teams in this World Cup so far, it's only fair to hope for England versus Pakistan grand final to end the tournament. Yeah, we'll see. That's what Stokes said, didn't he? He's hoping for it. That might be. I don't know. It could even be going down leg. Thing is, I have a feeling it's going to be umpire's call, and obviously the umpire's giving it not out. Yeah. So let's see. There's definitely a question. No, he hasn't nicked it. So they'll go upstairs at ball tracking.
It's very aggressive captaincy from Morgan, taking the review.
Yep. Oh, umpire's cool. So he's clipping the top of leg stump. Things he's got to be aggressive, don't you? Though I mean, they've got them 15 for 3. They've got 2 reviews remaining. Why not? So they'll still keep that review because umpire's cool. So no harm there in that. To be fair, I mean, happy days. To be honest with you, happy days.
I'm interested to see if England use Liam Livingstone at some point.
I think they will, and they probably will.
I think you almost might as well sneak him in as soon as the power play's over, and just either they go for it and he goes for 15, or they just plonk him around and just accept that they're going to have to rebuild. And it's kind of 5-6 overs in Australia. So
it's true. I agree. Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see how they approach this now, especially Australia now. I'm not sure. They're going to have to stabilize it, but that probably means not scoring particularly quickly, but batting long. They're probably going to have to kind of leave a little bit to the last 5 to just go big. But we'll see how that one goes. Guys, well, thanks for tuning in. Please do remember to like the video if you don't mind. Helps out a great deal if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're on Twitter, do like it, retweet. Twitch as well, do like it, and follow us. Helps us a great deal. Thank you. And do subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Well, bowl from Jordan, and good pace to be fair from most of the teams. They're all bowling kind of 85 plus at the moment for the most part, which is good. And obviously they change up, especially Jordan, sort of good variations, and Wokes as well has definitely improved on that front as well. And they've still got Tymor Mills to come, so that's what they've still got. Tymor Mills and Adil Rashid, who I would say are probably the 2 biggest threats at the moment in this English attack. So Australia. Yeah, I've got a lot to come.
England bowlers are interesting because we've either gone very wide, like we did to get Steve Smith out, or we're really targeting the front pads by bowling quite full and on middle and leg. If not, we're just with a nice good length outside of off stump, really. So it's quite.
Yeah, I think Finch is a little bit of a bold / LBW candidate because he can get across his front pad a little bit. So I think that's why they go quite tight to him. To be fair. But I agree, it's interesting tactics, and I guess they might have different tactics. I'm assuming they've got different tactics for each player. That's why they've kind of talked about that.
Definitely, because there was that story from years ago about I think it was an Australian South African tour. I think it was Dal Steyn. They accidentally posted his notes for how they're going to bowl to people underneath the door. It's just quite an interesting way of doing it.
Yeah, hilarious. Yeah. Definitely. 17 for 3 off 4.5 overs, so 1 ball remaining in this over, and very much a positive start from England here. Australia having to rebuild. Fazan says, is England on any T20 tours during the PSL? I really hope not, because I want to see Jordan back in the PSL. He got picked last year too, but couldn't come because of touring injuries. I'm not sure, actually. I'll have to have a look at that. Well flicked into the leg side, though, by Finch. They should get to, and they will get to. But very good over from Jordan. He's only gone for 7 off his first 2 overs and picked up a wicket as well to boot. England's leading wicket taker of all time, actually, in T20. So definitely living up to that. I'm not sure really what they do here. Well, if you're Australia, do you just look to build a partnership and kind of just hope for the best and see, okay, well, if we take it deep, we can then start hitting towards the back end?
Yeah, I think that they've got to accept that they need to hit as 120 as quick as possible, but without trying to go overly aggressive. And from there, go whatever happens from here, ride or die it really, and just then start throwing the bat and hope you got to hope you score that you're at the 120 mark in the 16th over-ish. I mean, most teams get to 16 and just start going for it anyway. So
yeah, agreed.
I mean, they'd be lucky to get 150 here, but then
quite
a lot of teams this tournament have been a few down at the start.
Yeah,
and have then kind of plugged back towards the end. And
they have. We saw that earlier today as well with Sri Lanka and South Africa as well, to be fair, in the chase. But yes, I mean, I think a lot rides on Stoinis and Finch here, honestly, because they've got Wade coming in next who can whack, but he'll probably give you a quick 15, 20. Then after that, they've got a really long tail because with no Mitchell Marsh now, Cummins has moved up to 7. They've got Cummins, Agar, Stark, and Hazelwood and Zampa. Like that's kind of. That's not a lot of runs in that, most likely. Although Horace is saying Cummins will come in and smash a quick 30 when he comes in. We'll see. First ball, dot ball, and then down the leg side goes Wokes for a wide. So welcome runs for Australia, and Stoinis just looks on.
Is Cummins really a better batsman than Agar?
I would say Agar's better, but I think the lineup that they provided says Cummins at 7. But,
yeah.
But it might be to split the left-handers because Wade is at 6.
Yeah, good point.
So that probably is why as well. But Agar's, he's an okay bat. But again, I think they've weakened their batting by dropping Mitchell Marsh, but they've strengthened the bowling.
Yeah,
so they obviously think that spin's going to be more of a factor. So they've got an option of 3 spinners with Maxwell, Zampa, and also Agar. And then obviously they've dropped one of the Seymour rounders. Fazan says Australia needs to do what India did against Pakistan after losing the 3 early wickets. Which is rebuild, right? I mean, they did that with, I think it was Pant and Kohli. Obviously, we won by 10 wickets, but I think the idea of how they rebuilt that innings is obviously quite a good way of putting it in terms of the method of it for sure. Ben Stokes thinks it could be an England-Australia final. No, you said England-Pakistan final.
Yeah.
He said England-Pakistan final, actually. He said anyone. It's quite nice of him.
Pakistan have looked really good, actually.
Mate, Ben Stokes in the PSL, please. Can someone pick him up? That'd be great. No, seriously, he'd get... the fans would love him in Pakistan, to be fair. They absolutely love him. 21 for 3, though. Wide and just a leg by. So, Finch just does not look like he is particularly timing the ball well at all. Just bunts that really, drives that straight to mid-off, but barely any timing. Well, Chris Wokes bowling a bit quicker there. Got up to 140 Ks there, so nice pace by Chris Wokes. This is Pakistan, yeah. I went Pakistan. Nice one. Right, so...
Has there been a boundary yet? I don't remember one. Oh, the check drive off
the check drive from Finch off Rashid in the first over. Since then, no boundaries. So that's crazy, right? In fact, there was, I think it was Australia, South Africa. There wasn't a single 6 hit in that innings. There's been a few innings like that where people just struggled really to get the ball to the boundary, and the bowling's been quite good. And obviously the pitches, I think, have played a little bit like that as well. But there definitely haven't been roads. But I actually like it like that. I think you have to think a lot more. You have to apply yourself more as a batsman as well.
Yes, and I think what we've seen is a couple of teams have been very close to losing.
Yeah.
Until the last 2 overs, and actually they've had to win it from that point.
Exactly. Agreed. Yeah. Which makes it exciting. No, we don't want to see flat decks and people hitting 220 and then chasing it, and then it's just like, what the heck? Like the bowlers have got nothing to work with.
Yeah, and I think actually there's been quite a good balance between pace and spin. I do think that spin is dominating, but not to an extent I'd go, oh, this is just a pure raging turner every game.
No, I agree.
Really.
I don't think spin is going to become extremely prevalent until the latter stages. I reckon the semis and final potentially. But yeah, Rashid's back on power play over 21 for 3 off 6 overs. So only going at run rate of 3.5, which is pretty much test match stuff at this stage. Honestly, because even ODIs, people try and go for it. In the power play at least 5 and over for first 10. So
looks like we got Rash.
Yeah, Rashid's on. This is going to be really pivotal passage of play, I think, because no alliteration intended. I think, Rashid obviously is going to bowl a couple of googlies and he'll bowl very, very consistently. You'd expect Astonis and Finch, and he'll be licking his lips. So let's see the first ball. Oh, googly first up. He traps in the front pad and he gives him out. Oh, straight away. Impact. Stoinis might review that because that googly turned a lot. He actually turns his googly more than his leg spinner at times.
I'm going to watch it now. I think I'm literally one ball behind you every time. So exciting. It's good.
Oh, Stoinis walks off. Doesn't even bother reviewing it. Doesn't even bother. He goes for a quacker.
Yeah.
He goes for a quacker. Didn't pick it at all. Let's have a look.
So Stoinis looks about 10 times too big for his bat.
Yeah,
he looked like he was really crouching over that ball.
He caught him on the back pad, so that's it. I thought maybe he caught him on the front pad, so maybe, but it wasn't. It was on the back pad, so he walks off, and a quacker for him, a 4-ball quacker. Stoinis LBW trapped by Rashid, and I tell you what, this could be a thrashing if Australia. This could be like the West Indies game all over again.
Yeah.
If they're not careful here, Australia. And South Africa will be licking their lips, really, because they'll be hoping that Australia lose, because run rate-wise, they're close to South Africa's run rate. And if they lose heavily, then it will help them. England have got a run rate of like 3.6, which is I've never seen something so big in my life. So, I think, we'll see. But it'll be South Africa, and whoever loses this kind of vying for second spot, most likely. England, I think, looking like they most likely will take top. Horace says, watch out for comments. Like I said, he'll smack a few. We'll see. Okay. I think he's going to struggle with that. If he comes in when Rashid's bowling, I think he'll struggle a great deal, but we'll see. But Wade in.
41 balls of spin to come from Moeen and Rash. It's a lot. It's a lot to face.
It's a lot, yeah. Agreed. Wade, though, so this is a good matchup for Australia. Wade, obviously, left-hander to Rashid, although Rashid does bowl the googly well, as we just saw there. He'll probably be bowling, I guess, predominantly googlies here, potentially a straighter one. Yeah, just puts it, actually kind of chucks it outside on a fist stump line and tries to get it to turn as a regulation leg spinner, but Wade just fends it off. Having a look at the that dismissal, I mean, it's middle leg. It's such a good delivery, that googly, and Rashid has perfected that so well over the years. Oh, well bowled, but you know what? That is a cracking shot from Wade. Not 4 runs, though. It'll just be a single straight to the man at deep mid off.
I'm quite enjoying the games being low score for the run rate as well, actually. Yeah. I think that makes a difference. I mean, unfortunately, you end up with games like the England-West Indies one where you end up basically England practically can't lose their good net run rate now unless they do the same themselves.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. Harris says Cummins is good versus pace, not spin. Yeah, I agree. He's decent against pace. Yeah. Oh, what a shot from Finch! But it'll only be a single because Rashid's got. I mean, he knows his field, right? That's the thing. Just floats that one outside of stump. Finch drives, but straight to the man at deep cover, and it'll only be a single. So 2 from it so far. 2 balls remaining, and a wicket to boot. A good over so far from Rashid. Oh, it's a googly. Well, cut away from Wade. That might be 4 runs. It definitely, I think, will be 4 runs. Cuts it. Very fine on backward point, and that will be 4 runs. Well played by Matthew Wade. 2 wide from Rashid by the googly, and also put it out wider. And Wade just cashes in. I was thinking, do you think because of his run-up, or kind of, well, I say run-up, obviously walks in, but his approach to the crease, Rashid, because he's coming at an angle, Do you think that's why his googly turns so much? Because it's basically going with the arm as well.
He's already moving that way, as opposed to
exactly
someone like Warren was almost arc on his way in, and would be running the way it would turn.
Yeah,
as he bowled. As you say, Rash is very much, he angles himself in. Actually, that's a very good point. I've never really thought about that.
And so I think that's probably why his googly turns more than his leg spinner. To be fair, because he still obviously does get to on the leg spinner, but it's not as sharp, I would say, for the most part, as the googly, which I think is probably because of that approach to the crease for the most part.
But the googly is far more dangerous, and also it makes him useful against the left-handers as well, rather than just being completely stuck.
Yeah, you got that versatility, right? Whereas I think with Moyne, and Moyne is fantastic for the most part because, against left-handers especially, and most right-handers, I kind of respect him. But if you've got someone who plays spin well, he doesn't have that option to bowl. A doosra. He doesn't really he doesn't bowl it at all. He'll bowl a top spinner. He'll bowl a slider. He might bowl different paces and different flight as well. But he doesn't have that. So Livingston's coming on to Finch. He doesn't remind me of a village bowler bowling leg spin and off spin, but it seems to just be working, probably because of the conditions as well. And to be fair to him, he's bowled quite well in this tournament so far. So he's been a good option for England, I think.
Definitely. I mean, this is where if you can steal an over out of someone, it makes a massive difference. Because even earlier, like Aidan Markram bowled, I didn't particularly know that he could and or would.
Yeah. I think they're holding back Moyne because of Finch. They're worried that Finch is going to go after Moyne. So even though they've got the left-hander away, they're trying to get Finch out first and then basically bring on Moyne to try and get through the rest. That's what I would assume.
We've also got runs to play with.
Exactly.
In this, in terms of actually, we can afford for Livingston to be. But so they did the decision up to Australia if they want to attack him and take the risk of getting out. It's so
that's interesting. Livingston just bowled a leg spinner to Finch, a single, and then bowled an off spinner to Wade round the wicket. So so that's what I say. So he doesn't bowl. I don't know if you noticed, but he doesn't bowl a googly or
he just completely changes the grip.
He completely changes. It's very obvious, and everyone knows it. But he somehow manages to bowl decent enough that he doesn't get slapped everywhere. Harris says Moyne would get Finch out. It would be the opposite.
I like the confidence.
I like the confidence as well. He might. I mean, Finch would go after him, so he might get him out. But I think in terms of matchups and kind of historical data, it'd probably say that Finch wouldn't get out to him. He'd probably whack him because he loves the off spin. So look at this. Aaron Finch versus off spin in the power play T20s. Average of 49, strike rate of 162, only 8 dismissals. And that's why I keep on flashing to Moyne and Finch, because they know that's why they're trying to stop Finch from having that comfort of playing off spin. Livingston's bowling leggies to him. He just got off strike with a single into leg side. So you'll see to Wade, he'll bowl an off spinner around the wicket probably.
So you've got to think Mills is coming on next.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I think they will look to Mills soon. So there you go, off spinner from Livingston. You can tell by. I mean, it ended up being a full toss as Wade came down the track to him, but hits it straight to Livingston. So good over, only 5 from it. A good start from the part-time leggy or offie or mystery bowler, whatever you want to call it.
Part-time everything, yeah.
Yeah, part-time everything, yeah. But yeah, well bowled. 32 for 4 off 8, so only going at 4 and over here, Australia as well. Guys as well, thanks for tuning in. If you don't mind, liking the video helps us out a great deal, and subscribing as well. Thank you for getting involved. So last 3 overs, the run rate's slightly gone up, but I mean, it's pretty much the same, honestly. Harris says, Mills, how old is he? He's been around for time. Yeah, he's like 33, 34.
I can't remember. Let's have a look. What's wrong with Mills?
Oh, Rashid. Oh, that's punished. There's a man there, but it's one bounce. It was wide outside off stump. Finch goes after him, drives over the infield, but it's a one bounce straight to Best, so doesn't manage to split the fielders. Goes into out against Rashid there.
Mills okay, you go.
No, go on. How old is Mills?
29. That's it.
Oh wow. Okay.
It feels like he's been around as
he has
way longer.
He has been around for ages. Wow. He's had a lot of injuries as well. To be fair, he was in a back brace, I think, like 9 months ago.
Yes. Yeah.
Reverse swept by Wade there from a Sheba straight to the man at short third man.
It might actually be fairly useful for England to qualify as soon as possible so they can rest him, Mills, that is, and not have to try and put too much strain on him. Because if you're going to play next round.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, that's a googly from Rashid, but shorter. Wade cuts away to the boundary. Well, I say the boundary, but to the fielder on the boundary in Livingston. Run 2. So good running. What do you think about if Mark Wood's fit? Does he come back in for Mills, or do they just stick with Mills because he's been bowling so well?
I think you can stick with Mills, but I do think you probably do want to swap them out just to give Mills a rest.
But Mills would be the first choice, like in a big match, is what I'm saying.
I think so, because I think the left-hander is such a massive difference, and actually gives England probably one of the more varied attacks. I think if you see in the Pakistan team, especially that Shaheen Shah Afridi, just what an absolute weapon he is, and I mean that in a good way, not the Scottish way. Like actually, how good he's been actually picking up wickets and taking them. But England aren't really using him as a wicket taker for Mills. He's sort of just trying to make it as tricky as possible for teams to just take singles and twos in that middle period.
Agreed. Magic Game says, man, Sri Lanka versus South Africa had me crying. I'm sorry. Apologies. Well, ball from Rashid, but I think that's pitching outside leg. It has turned. He does appeal. Finch goes down on one leg, but they will not take that upstairs because that would definitely be not out. Magic Game, I mean, Sri Lanka messed it up in the last over. They 15 to defend. Leg stump half volleys, you're never going to win with leg stump half volleys. Horace said, did he not get an IPL contract or something? Mills, I'm not sure if he did, actually. No idea.
I think he might have done, and then he got injured.
That might be it, yeah. Magic Game says he did, I think. Would England rather face India or Pakistan? I'm not sure. What do you think, Matt? Who do you guys rather face?
I'd rather face India.
Yeah.
I think we can beat India. I think Pakistan are a bit of a dangerous team, actually. How they've been playing, and that's not just inflating you or your viewers. India don't look fantastic. They look solid. The thing is, you've got any team's got Kohli is going to have a chance,
Yeah.
But I think they've got enough coverage to beat someone like India.
Agreed. No, I agree. I think we'll see. Obviously, India have only played one game. Pakistan have played 3, so that's the other thing. We don't really know quite how they're going to look. And that's obviously the scheduling is pretty weird to be honest. I'm not sure why it's happened, but we'll see tomorrow against New Zealand. That's a crunch game, really, because both teams have to win it. I would say whoever wins that then is pretty strong to finish second. But yeah, that's kind of like a must-win game, I would say, for sure. Or short from Livingston, pulled away by Finch, but straight to the man at deep mid wicket as an absolute dross delivery from Livingston. Got away with that big time. Harris says England versus Pakistan last T20 series was a draw, right?
Was it not last summer when you had that 17-year-old?
Haider Ali, the 19-year-old. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, but England didn't have a very good side because of there's a breach, wasn't there? In the bubble,
yes,
yeah, and Saki Mahmood bowled really well as well. I don't know, was it a draw? I think England won 2-1?
Magical Game popped up and said we won 2-1. So
they did. He did it with RCB. I think in 2016, 2017, about time on Mills. For Sri Lanka to qualify, we have to support England right now. It's true. You basically want Australia to lose, and then Australia to lose every other game. That's what West Indies will be hoping as well, to be fair. Magic Game says back England to win versus Australia and South Africa by big margins, and hope for West Indies and South Africa, to lose to Bangladesh. A lot of ifs and buts there, unfortunately. But yeah, 2-1 in a 1. Livingston scored that century. I do remember that. Yeah, it was a big boy knock from a big boy player. And had a very good 100 as well.
He's getting away with some bad balls.
He is. So it's interesting. I think the score predictor said at the start of the innings was 173 actually, but now it's saying 117. Given obviously what's happened so far in this match, interesting. Well, a ball by Livingston. It's an off spinner again to Wade. Wade punches it though into the offside. But yeah, he's getting away with it, to be fair. I think they've set the field. Obviously, it's not the power play, so they've got people on the boundary. I think Australia are a bit worried about going kind of in the air, going aerially with the shots, because they know that if they lose a wicket here, they're in trouble and they're starting to build a partnership. So they're trying to hit the gaps and not quite managing to do so, which is, I guess, a positive from an England point of view. I think we've got, and that's the first 10 done, actually. So a very, very good first 10 from...
unbelievable, really.
Yeah. Because, well, now ifs and buts, but ifs and buts are all we got. Oh, man. Says Livingston benefits from everyone else's good work, so Australia don't want to risk it too much. I agree. Also, you don't really want to get out to him. He's one of those players that you get out to him, and you definitely know you're going to get a lot of stick in the dressing room. Like, well, how have you got out to this part-time bowler, basically? So there's definitely an element of that as well.
How often does he bowl in the English game? I don't really.
So he bowls a lot in. It's funny. He only started bowling for Lancashire in the last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
But he started bowling a lot in the T20 stuff.
Yeah.
And he bowled quite well in the T20 stuff, was domestically. And I think in the one-day stuff as well. I don't think he bowls in the longer format, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he's got a decent record, I think.
He's got 43 first-class wickets, which is quite a lot, actually. Yeah. And not a too shocking average.
Yeah.
He's got 59 wickets in the T20 game.
Yeah, which is really good, yeah.
At an average of 20 as well. He's just one of those players who, I suppose with Rashid, you sort of know what the plan's going to be and how he's going to attack you, so you can potentially plan for that.
Yeah. I think he's so random, Livingston, that it puts people off, actually, as well.
Yes, yeah.
I genuinely think you're correct on that. I think we 40 for 4?
41 for 4, I think.
41 for 4, I think you're right, yeah. 41 for 4 off the first 10. So, yeah, I mean, Australia, if they want to get 120, they're going to have to score 8 and over. If they want to get to, 150, if they want to say 150, they're going to have to go at 9. So, sorry, they're going to have to go at 11s even, sorry, not 9s. So, yeah, this is going to be really, really tough. What do you think is a good score for Australia from this point? That you think actually they might be able to defend it potentially?
Oh, they might have to start again. It's sort of where it's getting to the point now.
Yeah, agreed.
I think the thing is, if you go at 10 and over from here, that's 1-4-1.
Yeah,
that's enough to mean that England can't go, or let's send Milan in and let him play himself in and let him try and get some form back, or let's give Morgan 30 balls, and it doesn't matter if he scores 20 and scratches around, we'll still win.
Yeah. I reckon 130 plus, and it's competitive, but I think they can potentially do it with the bowling they've got, but they need to bowl very well.
Anything anything above 130 would be a massive result.
Yeah, agreed.
For them, but then you still got to rely on your opening bowlers to do to us what we did to them. But then England have the advantage of batting to 8. With Wokes, and even Jordan can hit a ball.
So can Rashid as well. It's only Mills, to be fair. It's only Mills, to be fair. That can't, Mills, actually, talking of Mills, he's opening up the 11th over here. Single to start off the over, 42 for 4. Finch 20 off 29. I mean, he'll be trying to accelerate quickly, as will Wade. I think the thing is they need one big over, Australia, to kickstart it.
Yeah.
But where they get the over, I'm not quite sure. Harris says, what's a good score for Australia from me? Yeah, we just talked about that. Marcus says, I think Australia will get 105 to 110. We're bowled by Mills, just honing into the pads of Finch, but flicked just for a single. Pace at 85 miles an hour. I think that will slowly increase, you'd imagine, from him.
That's a stretch for him. It's just a little get the limbs going again.
That's quite slow for him, yeah. National Games says a good score would be 130, but seems a bit out of reach, but you never know. Yeah, it's true. Well, Horace Rolfe yesterday bowled 95 miles an hour, and it was a Yorker to a new batsman as well. And he managed to get it. He managed to dig it out. I was like really impressed. I was like flipping out. 95 mile per hour Yorker, and it was on the dot as well. And he defended it well. First ball up. Really good slow ball from Mills. That's something that I think has been very impressive. 69 miles an hour. Wade not picking it at all and just kind of fends it off for a dot ball. Much says, well, by the way, we need to win versus England, which seems quite hard now. It's true, yeah. What you have to hope for, the problem is, right, is I was going to say you have to hope for Hasaranga to get wickets, but he did that today and you guys still lost, right? He got a hat-trick. I don't remember the last time someone got a hat-trick on the losing side.
Yeah.
So that's disappointing. I think the other bowlers are going to have to chip in, and I think Tixana does really well. He's tight, but the seamers. Hold on, that's in the air. That's an uppercut from Wade, and it's 6, I think. Is it 6 or 4? Moeen Ali nearly getting around for the catch, but couldn't quite get there. I'm just having a look. He didn't get all of it, but I think it's a short part of the boundary. Let's have a look. It's 4. It's literally just bounced inside the rope. It's a good shot on the end from Matthew Wade. And 4 runs that will be. So much needed boundary for Australia.
Since the first over.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Which is crazy to say. It's been 9 overs, or 10 overs actually, sorry, since the first boundary. That's crazy. Neil's running in. Again, short. Again, this time it's kind of run off the face from Wade. I think he didn't look comfortable there at all, but straight to Moeen Ali for a single. Yeah, I mean, he's quite late on that way. Didn't get into the position correctly. Bit fortunate, really, to get away with that. I remember 153 Ks, right? Yeah. To Janat, indeed. And says Lahuru Kamara, that guy. Oh, no, man. The Shamir was good, but Kamara, he bowled well in the previous overs, but just bowled in the slot. Yeah, agreed. That's actually the third boundary. Okay, what was the second one? Can't even remember it, to be fair.
I don't know. I shall check quick info and just change the commentary to boundaries.
Right, so 49 for 4. Very good.
One. He knows what he's doing.
This
man.
Magical Gamer. No, Magical Gamer is keeping account. I like it.
Keeping the receipts, yeah.
How many extras? 3. Run rate of 4.52. Very interesting field. I mean, you can tell that Mills is going to bowl short because he's got... that's very interesting. They've almost got someone pretty much behind the keeper. That's so weird. That's such a weird field.
It's quite interesting having the eye in the sky that kind of tracks the players and watches them move. I think I heard you earlier talking about it being like Brian Lara 05 when you used to pluck them up and then put them out. Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah,
that's pretty good fun.
Yeah. So a bit of an expensive over actually in the end from Mills. 8 off it. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that, but I think they're going to come. But England overall will be pretty happy. 49 for 4 off 11 overs, and unless Australia start teeing off, they won't be worried at all. Honestly, like I said, I'm checking quick info. Wade has hit 2 boundaries. Okay, nice one. What was the first one that you hit?
It was both come off a sheet. The first one was the 5th ball of the innings. We checked the drive, and then
that was Finch. Yeah,
and then it was Wade hit. Oh, he cut.
Oh yeah, yes,
yeah.
The fine cut. Yeah. Of course. Score updates. The score's 49 for 4 off 11 overs. Magical, Finch with the check drive over mid off for 4. Yeah. Off spinner by Livingston into Wade. So Livingston carrying on into his 3rd over, and Wade just tucks it into the leg side for a single. Sorry,
it's quite telling that we can debate and count boundaries for how poor the score's been. It's just
agreed. 50 for 4 off 11.1 overs, by the way. The 50 up, and Finch just tucks that into the leg side as well for a single. So they are keep on ticking along. It's a bit better stuff from Australia, but they will have to go at some point. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Please, can you like the video if you don't mind? Really helps us out. And do subscribe. Again, helps us out a great deal. I do appreciate it. Fazan Khan says they're almost at West Indies 55. Yeah, it's true. Much Game says Fazan needs some pairs of defense chassis. What do you mean? What are you trying to say? 51 for 4 off 11.3 overs. And Morgan with his double cap on. Loves a double cap. So look at that. 1 by 6 wickets against West Indies, 1 by 8 wickets. What a shot from Wade. That should be out. Oh, it's out. Oh, dear. I thought he'd got enough of it, but he hadn't. straight down the throat of long on. Matthew Wade goes after Livingston, and he will definitely get berated by his teammates in the dressing room for getting out to him. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was there to be hit. He used his feet okay, just didn't get all of it, and he goes for 18 off 18. Oh dear.
Yeah, that's quite an easy wicket, that actually.
Oh, here's a look. Oh, it's turned in his hand. Oh, come on. So he's moved his feet, but he's moved his feet leg side, so he's having to reach for the ball. At that point, he needs to basically hit to the offside, but instead, he tries to drag it towards mid-on, and he completely mishits it and goes straight down long on, and it's Jason Roy who takes an easy catch.
It looked like a bit of drift come out of the hand, and it sort of dips down. Yeah, he pushes himself way too far.
Yeah, he's bowling quite quick through the air, so he might be able to generate some drift actually as well, which is a good point. Magic Gamer says, like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, please do. I do appreciate it. Magic Gamer says, out. The Afghans, the way they bat despite the loss of wickets will destroy Livingston. I don't rate his bowling at all, but it's working for England. Interesting. Says out. And how you getting out to Livingston, says Harris. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? So Ashton Agar is going to come in at 7 because obviously Wade's out. So they're going to stick to the left-hand, right-hand combination, which is a smart move. 51 for 5, and he's into Livingston first. Ashton Agar defends that first up. And,
I mean, maybe this is where my hubris comes to get me, because I just think remember an Ashes series when he was the next man in and thinking, oh, we're going to steamroll them here.
99.
Yeah. That was back in the days when I was working in the warehouse and you couldn't take your phone with you into the warehouse. And so I remember walking in there going, oh, they're like 122 for 9. Let's see what we're at batting wise next innings. And then I'm going to go for my lunch break about 3 o'clock and being like, what? Like, he's still in, and it was like 75 at that point.
Oh, yeah, crazy. No, you can bat. You can definitely bat.
Yeah.
How many can he get? Let's see. But like I said, it's just luck sometimes. You know what? It reminds me a little bit, and Don Bess is probably going to hate me for this, of Don Bess in Sri Lanka when he got those wickets, and he kept on getting so many wickets, and I was like, it's just because the Sri Lankan batsmen are batting rubbish, basically. Like, that application was really poor. They kept on trying to go after him, and they kept on getting themselves out. And there's a little bit of that. And thing is, in a T20 match, if you lob it up there like Livingston and you put it in a decently accurate area, you'll get wickets. He doesn't need to have a lot of guile about it. He just needs to be clever enough to know and set a field, right, to the way he bowls. And he knows his game, right? So he knows, okay, well, I might bowl short, I might get hit here, I'm probably going to go to get hit down the ground because, and sometimes he will go for runs, but if you set your field well enough, more often than not, he'll come off, and that's kind of what's happened here. Rashid is going to finish up here, his 4th over. He's 1 for 18 off 3.1 overs so far. Australia 52 for 5. Harrison's Finch is still there, so Moyne won't bowl. It's true. Moyne is probably not going.
He hasn't got a bowl, has he? Yeah.
No, and it's to do with match. Morgan is obsessed with matchups, so I don't think he will bowl unless Finch gets out. Honestly, I don't think he will. Which will be weird because he bowled so well in the first 2 matches, but it's just because of the matchup. I just think that's how Moyne does. Harrison Morgan will bowl before Moyne does. Fazan says, I remember following that game. I was at school following just the score online. I kept thinking, who is this Agar guy? It's true, yeah. Yeah, long hair back then as well. He's only 19 years old, I think.
He's got nothing, yeah. Bless him.
Yeah. Scored 99 versus England Test debut in 2013. Yeah, he did. And as of what I can remember, it was the Ashes. It was the Ashes, yeah. So, I mean, England only play Australia in the Ashes. That's every Test series is the Ashes, basically. So far, Agar's not managed to trouble the scorers. He's 0 off 4. Finch 23 off 33. I mean, he's really struggling, Finch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bowled. Very well bowled from Rashid. Agar very tentatively kind of pushes that into the offside for no run. Very interesting for sure.
I always think games like this make me question why you'd want to fly out to the tournament, because if you go all the way from Australia out there, you go through all the quarantine, all the tests, etc., working out how you're going to get back home, and then you're 52 for 53 for 5. Whatever.
Yeah, it's carnage. Yeah, Agar just cuts away that googly for a single. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, at least the weather's good there. They're probably tanning a lot, but look, I mean, Australia lose. They're still obviously in a chance with qualifying. I think this could end up being embarrassing if they lose this. And if they don't get to 100, for example, then it could definitely be it could be carnage. Horace says, Man United have ruined me, but Buxton have given me happiness. I thought Buxton would do the opposite. Very good. Yeah, you're lucky. Oh, bold is a googly from Rashid to Finch. Finch inside edges it onto his pads, I think, so gets away with it. Otherwise, he would have been absolutely plumb there. Genuinely, like didn't look like he knew what was going on at all. 43 for 5 off 13 overs, I think that is. They need to start scoring quickly because this is Test match cricket at the moment. Horace says, I thought we would have a closer game, but coming into the tournament, Australia were not all that. I said before the tournament, I said Australia will struggle. I think, I remember we did the group debate and Venu, pointed out about Maxwell, but the issue was they kept talking about Maxwell, and that was the issue. It's only really, if we look at the batting wise, they rely a lot on Warner, Finch, and Maxwell, and the T20 stuff anyway. Smith will get you some runs, but you won't score quickly. Finch and Warner and Maxwell, and that's pretty much it. That's kind of what you're looking at from an Australian point of view in the batting department.
And I think Benny paid that most of his time with the anthem anyway. So
that's very true.
The strength of his argument,
Yeah, exactly. But bowling wise, they're fine. That's not the issue, right? Definitely. But you can't win a tournament with just being good in one or two disciplines. It needs to be all three. Well bowled by Livingston. He will bowl out his overs here. Rashid doing well in his spell, and also Livingston here doing well as well. He's 1 for 12 of his 3.2 overs. Run rate's just over 4. So this is really a thrashing at the moment. If they don't get themselves sorted, Finch cuts away. That could be 4. Nope. It's Moinani gets round from deep cover, and it'll just be a single. So Australia really struggling. They're just dealing in a single here and there. No boundaries whatsoever, really, apart from those 3. Match Game says, let's go England, bowl out Australia for 80 and chase it down 8 overs. Give Sri Lanka hope. Very optimistic. I like it. Katuea could be out. It gets away with it. It's an off spinner. Straight into Ashton Agar. Ashton Agar just cuts that really wildly, actually. Completely out of control. But runs down to the man at deep cover. Score predictor says 105. Start of the innings, it was 173. That shows the massive gap and how badly they started the game, Australia here. Really, really poor from the Aussies. Aussie.
The pitch really doesn't look that bad, does it? It doesn't seem particularly demony.
No, it doesn't. I agree. I don't think it looks that bad at all.
I think you have got to give credit to England's bowlers for executing on the plans. There seems to be a definite plan to every single person they bowled at.
Yeah. So the difference that they're just showing with Livingston is, I think the difference in pace actually, obviously doesn't have the variation. It's just bowls off spin and leg spin, which is fine, depending on who's facing a lefty or righty, and then he will just change pace through the air. Only 4 from us. That's a really good spell. 1 for 15 off his 4 overs. 57 for 5. I'll get the comments up as well. I can see you guys are typing away. Appreciate you guys commenting as well. Magic Gamer says, wait, also we just need one more win. If with Australia, either Bangladesh or West Indies has to win, then they end up with 6 points. Sri Lanka need to win versus England and West Indies with a decent run rate. Yeah, that's what it is, yeah. So Sri Lanka can still qualify, but they have to win their next 2 games.
Yeah.
And then basically hope that their net run rate is good enough. That's what it will be, most likely. But we'll see, obviously, how it goes.
One thing I didn't realise was that Bangladesh have never won a game at this stage of a T20 World Cup.
Really?
In the group stages, and in the second round. I know the format changes every year, but they've never won a game.
Oh wow!
Which is crazy. You think that they would? I mean, especially because like they showed in the highlights earlier that Zimbabwe beat Australia. However many years ago that was,
Shot from Finch. Yeah, agreed. I mean, what a shot! So Finch just punching Mills down the ground for 4 off a slower ball. Picked it. Didn't get all of it. Actually turned his hand slightly, but very straight and 4 runs. Much needed boundary for Finch and also Australia. It's a bit of a slog, but he'll get away with it. Yeah, I agree. I think it's crazy. How can Bangladesh, considering they're quite good they were pretty good in the 2019 World Cup as well. They weren't bad. Like they're definitely a dangerous side in T20s. They beat Australia I know Australia didn't have a full strength side, but they had a relatively strong side. They still beat them at home. And these tracks are not too dissimilar to the Bangladesh tracks.
No, but you thought that they would have played Scotland at some point,
Yeah, agreed.
Or Poxy Namibia, my arch nemesis this month. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, Mills goes for 4 again. Back-to-back 4s in Australia. These are much-needed runs. Finch just punching that off the back foot, actually. Barely any foot movement, but just punches it beautifully. Great timing. Just leaning on it.
Shot.
And, beautiful shot through the covers for 4. Back-to-back boundaries. This could be the over that kickstarts the Australian innings. And, well, they need to get going now because next over we're into the last 5. So, 65 for 5 Finch. I think he's looking now. He's going to have to stay till the end. If he does, they might post an okay-ish total. Well bowled though, very well bowled by Tymor Mills. We're very, very tight into the stumps there, round the wicket. Finch tries to cut him, and it's way too straight to cut, and almost nicks it behind. Magic Game says, they just trashed B teams on home tracks. Oh, that's a bit harsh. Bangladesh is 6 on the T20 I rankings, insane. That's what I mean. So that can't be then. No, they've beaten some decent teams. I just think they beat I think the New Zealand team they beat.
They beat Australia recently, didn't they? So
yeah, and they beat New Zealand. Well, they won a couple of games against New Zealand, I think, as well. Pulled from Finch. That should be. Oh, he's got away with that. He's very, very early on it. Pulls and almost goes to mid-on. But Jordan gets around but doesn't manage to take that catch. It's just a single. Mills has been very expensive. No Moyne yet, as we mentioned, who's a 6th option. In previous matches, obviously opened the bowling, but they've been worried about Finch. And I think this will deter Morgan even more with Finch hitting 2 boundaries. He's probably like, nope, definitely not going to bowl in. Magic Gamer says, for example, Mark can pass Cody in the T20I batting rankings. But Cody's been poor in the T20Is until this tournament. You should look at his record in the last year or so, whereas Mark has been phenomenal. That's what it's based on, recent form as well, more than anything. That's why over a few months period, whereas Kohli actually hasn't been that good in T20 internationals for about a year or so. But the rankings are weird, to be fair. He says the player rankings are quite flawed, in my opinion. I think, they're not. I don't think they're an exact science for sure. But there is, obviously it depends on how many games you play as well.
The thing is now, see, most teams now have their own statistical models. And I know months ago we spoke about how I should do a lecture, not a lecture, but a session with you guys on your channel about how the mathematical model stuff goes. Obviously, that guy, Jared Kimber. I know you shared a few of his stuff as well. And there's also a guy called Dan Weston of SAA Advantage on Twitter. Yeah. They post some really interesting stuff actually around how teams can genuinely start to work these things out and how they have all these new impact models, etc. They're really cool ways of assessing it. Agreed.
I think that's the best over for Australia so far. Only 10 off it. 67 for 5 or 15. Imagine how the hell is Milan still number 1 then? I think because basically he played so many matches and he played so well. I think it was against South Africa and New Zealand and a few others against Pakistan as well. He basically created like a huge lead in front of Bob. Also, Pakistan didn't play that many T20s, so Bob Rosal was at 2. And Finch went on a really terrible. He went in really poor form, Finch, until recently. Bob Rosal didn't play many matches either. But yeah.
Because what I don't know with that is at what point does an innings fall off of counting towards the rankings, etc. It must be like a 18-month period, I don't know, 12 months. They can almost do with two different versions.
Yeah.
Of like a form one, like maybe the last 10 innings, whatever it needs to be. But interesting. Are you wearing your World Holiday cricket shirt out of interest?
I am.
You are. Yeah, I've still got mine somewhere as well. I think I've training 5 times.
Yeah. There's Jordan running in, only 1 for 7 off his first 2 overs, 67 for 5 off 5 overs as well. So he's done extremely well, has good old Chris Jordan. Magic Game says Kohli's T20I batting average in 2021 is 96. Is it? Can you show me that stat, please? and how many not outs are in there? That's the problem as well.
I mean, his average overall is amazing, 52, right? It's
Yeah,
one of the best out there. So there's no doubt he's definitely in the top 3 players, in T20s. Like, of course, in bats. I think the rankings take into more account kind of current form. Quick Info says so. Let me have a look at that. Milan has been there longest. Don't know why. I just checked Milan's average is 29 in 2021. The problem is it's not to do with just this year. I think it's based upon the 2-year cycle, if I'm not mistaken.
2 year, right? Okay.
I could be wrong. Yeah. Also depends on who you score the runs against as well. So you get more points for scoring runs against higher ranked teams, and less for scoring against low ranked teams. Also, you get less points if you lose. If you score runs but you lose the match, then it's seen as less impactful. So then you don't get as many points as well. Which is why, for example, we were losing a lot of games. Barbara was getting runs, but he wasn't getting any points because we were losing. Well, ball by Chris Jordan and punch into the offside by Finch. That should be 2. No, they just take 1. Run rate is just going. The conclusion, the rankings are flawed. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at that. I need to have a look at that 2021 stat. I think that's quite interesting.
I guess England just need to keep Agar on strike for as much as possible here, really, because he really doesn't seem to be able to get it off the square.
100%. Let's have a look here. Batting England, batting career summary. Oh, that's a drop. That's a drop, I think, at cover. Actually, I got slashed that. I think it might be Morgan, actually. Let's have a look. I think it's a sharp chance. He smiles. Let's have a look. Yeah, he slapped it. It is a chance. It's a one-handed chance, very low to his right hand. Ashnagar is not happy with himself, but it doesn't matter because it's only a single. He's not out either, but I think he's just annoyed. He's only 6 off 14 and he's trying to get runs here. It's like, give me some runs. Struggling a lot.
Harris has asked if you'd rather play Australia or South Africa.
I'd rather play Australia than South Africa. What about you, Fazan? Or shot from Finch. What a shot. Cut that away to the boundary. Back with a point. Beautiful. Yeah, same. I actually would as well. The main reason why actually is the spinners. I'm quite scared of Shamsi and Maharaj.
Yeah.
Shamsi especially. I think he's quite... And I genuinely think in T20s, Rabada and Nortje are better than Stark and Cummins in T20s. In the T20 format, that is. If we're looking at test matches, Rabada's probably the best. I'd probably say, argue.
I love Rabada. Yeah.
I mean, Rabada and Cummins are amazing. But yeah, if we're looking at a T20 format, I think Rabada and Nortje are more effective. So bowling-wise, I'm more worried. Batting-wise, I mean, to be fair, both teams are quite flawed. But I would say that, yeah, I'm not sure. Horace says, I'd rather play Australia than South Africa. Yeah, agree. Not true. High-ranked teams. So many all-rounders from associates are high up on the rankings. So many all-rounders from associates are high up on the rankings. No, it's definitely a thing, though, from what I know. Maybe I need to just quickly... I need to do a video on it and look through the ranking system, which is so weird. I just hate it so much. Oh, there you go. Imagine it's a Russia Khan 2 stat pads versus associates. Yeah, I mean, he probably is the best. I reckon he's the best ball. I mean, even against Pakistan yesterday, he was really good. Imagine South Africa relies on Shamsi. Smash. Oh my God. This is really a tongue turner. Smash Shamsi, then job done. I disagree. What about Rabada and Nortje? Maharaj has been pretty good as well, to be fair. He got smashed a little bit today, but overall he's been quite good in T20s for the start of his career anyway. He's only played a few matches. 75 for 5 off 16. Finch pulls away, woke straight to the man at deep mid wicket. I don't think we're going to see Moeen Ali today because Finch is batting throughout. I think if Finch gets out early, you'll probably see Moeen straight away, but I don't think they're going to. I don't think he's going to bowl. I don't know though. It's not impossible to take them on. It's not impossible, but it's very damn difficult. Nasanka made it look easy against Rabada today, but it's not normally. And Nasanka's a special player, and he also he got his eye in. He was already on 60 odd. Magic Gamer says Shumsey dominates the middle overs. He really does. I mean, he just ties you down, suffocates you. It's tough. Zampa's pretty good as well, to be fair, for Australia, but I just think Shumsey's better. But Zampa's not bad, to be fair to him. He's a pretty solid bowler as well. 76 for 5. And, well, that's a wide from Woke. So down the leg side. Very interesting.
How many deliveries are left? What are we up to now? 23?
Yeah.
So even if they score 2 a ball.
Oh, that's a good shot from Agar. There's that 6. Yeah, oh, it is. Moyne, he can't take it because if he catches that, that goes for 6. So he basically just... He says sorry. I guess he could palm that into...
He can do a Jordan Cox, can't he? Just slap it back in.
I don't think he's a good enough fielder. You can slap it in, though. Oh, he's not seeing where the boundary is, and he stepped over it. 6. Yeah, I mean, I think he could definitely stop it from being 6. He probably can't take the catch. Oh, that's a 6 again. Ashton Agars, he's teeing off. Back-to-back 6s from the big man. And maybe what Matt was saying about the 99 might come back. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah. He's looking good, man. He's looking very, very good. Big shot from Ashton Agar. Wow.
Again, that's another... That's a massive hit, though.
That
is huge, a poor ball.
But it's a poor ball. It's a leg stump half volley, right?
Yeah.
As you said,
it's been quite interesting. Let's say most teams have been opting to bowl over the wicket to left-handers.
Yeah.
Rather than spearing it in. I don't know.
Do you know why? Because they're worried that they're going to bowl on the pads around the wicket, and they end up bowling the pads anyway. That's the problem.
Yeah. It's sure in my mind, you've got more chance of hitting the pad if you're bowling from that side.
Yeah. Flicked into the leg side for a single. This is a fantastic over so far. 13-14 off it. 3 balls to come still as well. Magical Gamer saying Hasaranga's record is better than Shumsey's, I think. Shumsey's played 2 matches more than Hasaranga, just 1 wicket away. Looking, come on, England. Get Agar and Finch. 2 6s, Agar. Yeah, good stuff. Very, very good stuff. 120 plus on the cards. How quickly? Oh, that's pulled away again. Oh, no, they're showing the replay. Oh, my God. I was getting excited. Well, we saw that versus Sri Lanka today. It's true. It's true. It really is. It can change the game. It definitely can. No doubt. No doubt. Very, very good start from... so very good start from England, but Australia's starting to pull back here, which would be quite interesting if it happens.
Yeah, it's one of those, you almost feel like the momentum doesn't switch.
Yeah.
But it gives us a bit of belief that, you know.
Oh, that's going to be 4 runs as well. Runs away. I think they're peeling. It's Wokes appealing, but it's hit his pad, I think, gone for 4. Are they going to take the review? I think he is. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I don't think he has. Not sure what's going on.
It's pitch outside leg no matter what.
Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, it has. I agree. They're reviewing it, though. They're reviewing it. I'm sorry, but what's the name of your fellow commentator today? Matt. Magical Gamer says England review. Quick info. Quick info? What? Quick info. ... Quick info. ... No, yeah, pitched outside leg as Matt rightfully pointed out.
Close.
Yeah, close for sure. But not close enough.
So Morgan, it's going to be interesting.
So 120 is definitely on.
Yeah, 120 is definitely on. 95 for 5 or 17. They're just going to have to keep on. I'm going to keep going. Got to keep going.
We saw already that Finch's strike rate is 191 in the last 4 overs of his.
Yeah, it is. It's huge. Shot from Finch, but straight to the man though at deep mid on. Cheers, guys. I've got to go keep up the good stuff. Thank you. Appreciate it. Natural Gamer. Just having a look at the shots from Ashnagar. That one over Cow Corner was a big boy shot. That was a very good shot. Flicked it as well. It's pure timing. Really, really good shot. From a very, very good player.
We need to see how England chase this.
Agreed.
If they go, let's try and be 50 off of 6, or if they're just going to go, just knock it around.
Yeah, knock it around. Surely got to try and knock it around. Like 7 for 5. Mills, a couple of slow balls doing the business. Just 2 singles, so I'll be happy with that. I'll be very happy with that. Right, Mills running in. Oh, we're bowled. And Finch doesn't get any of that, but they scamper through for a bye. What do you think in terms of totals? What do you think they're going to get?
127. I think they're going to do pretty well.
Let's see.
Although Mills is clawing this back, actually.
Yeah.
Better than I thought he would.
Agreed.
The Australia kit's pretty naff, isn't it? It's pretty boring.
South Africa?
No, the Australian one, sorry.
Oh, shot. It's the alternate kit. That should be out. And it is out. Pulls straight. It's Mills gets the breakthrough. It's Ashnagar pulls straight to the man. Nice. It's Livingston at deep mid wicket. Yeah, I don't mind it, but yeah, I prefer their other one. The Australian, they have a white, it's a light yellow and light green pads on the shoulders. They've got 2 kits. Yeah. That's better. Ashnagar has to go 20 off 20. He won't be happy with that. And I don't blame him because it's pretty poor from a very, very solid play. I mean, after those couple of sixes as well, you're thinking, look, he's in the game here. Didn't quite manage to cash in as he probably would have liked.
I mean, I should also be fair to both sides and said England kit isn't that much better.
I think it's not very nice either. To be fair,
the Scotland one's the best one.
I like Scotland's one, Namibia's, Pakistan's okay. Sri Lanka's I like actually, and South Africa's is quite cool as well. They've got
the Scotland one was designed by a 14-year-old girl. Did you see that?
No, that's
designed by a schoolgirl. Yeah. They did a competition.
Wow. That's cool. It's very cool. Yeah, Pat Cummins in at 8, so 98 for 6. Harris gets his wish with Pat Cummins. He's in.
If he scores 30 from that, I'll be impressed.
He says, yeah, he'll score a quick 30, so let's see. Yeah, I don't have much faith in Pat Cummins' batting, honestly, so we'll see. But you can whack it. It's like a Mitchell start, to be fair, as well.
Yeah.
Long levers. Right, so Pat Cummins, 98 for 6. There we go, wide of the crease. Oh, Cummins goes big. Oh, you know what? I take it back. 6 first ball. What a shot. Flipping heck.
I've not seen it yet. It's going to come through.
Oh, mate. What a shot. Absolutely. Crunches that down the ground.
Flipping heck. What a start to his innings. He must definitely be working on his batting. I don't remember him being that good. That's a great shot from Pat Cummins.
Great shot when he just said that. Yeah.
Wow. That's 79 meters, so it's pretty big. 6 on any ground. Gabe says could have been worse. Yeah, could have been worse. I said shush. Yeah, there you go. Oh, you're right. Oh, again! Oh, back-to-back sixes! What a shot from Pat Cummins. He's pulled that big 87 miles per hour. Horace, you are right. It looks like you might be right. He's already on 12 off 2. 2 overs remaining, and Pat Cummins is just, oh, mate, what is going on? 110 for 6 off 18. Carnage, absolute carnage. Thanks, Gabe, as well, for tuning in. Says, could have been worse. Oh, mate, what a shot. That you pulled that away. That is an absolute monster of a 6.
Because Mills is quite an unusual death bowler.
Yeah, he doesn't bowl Yorkers. He bowls slower balls and then quicker, like into the ground, into the pitch. Yeah. And like tries to get wickets that way by deception.
Like that one was actually, yeah.
Yeah, and a bit of extra bounce, etc. I think he's probably the issue is as well. I think nowadays is what you end up bowling Yorkers and people just go deep into their crease and they kind of whack you because it ends up being half volley. So you have to really execute it to perfection. But no, it's still definitely a useful tool, but it just depends on how confident you are bowling it, I guess. I saw him for KK slap Bumrah. Fair enough. I mean, he can definitely whack. I mean, things in the past I've seen that he can. I didn't think he could whack like that, to be fair. Yeah, big boy shots and 34 runs off the last 12 balls. So they carry on in that vein. They will end up getting 144. So let's see. Finch goes big. There is a man there. He's out. And Jordan gets the wicket. Finch doesn't get enough elevation. Oh, he has to go. And that's a really poor innings. I have to say, I know he's anchored it, but 44 or 48 in a T20 game is just not good enough. It's really not. If he's going to, if you're going to bat that slowly, you have to then accelerate towards the end. He's tried to do it here, but really he needs to stay till the end because he's eaten up a lot of balls here.
You should have given the strike to Cummins.
Yeah, seems that way, yeah. Big wicket, though, and I said they might be able to get to 140. But that's a big blow with Finch going there. 110 for 7. Goes first ball of the over. He looks disappointed, and he should be. Yeah, walks off. Let's have a look. It's that's just a regular seam delivery. It was there to be hit, to be fair. Just didn't get enough elevation. Didn't manage to kind of get enough on it. And it's too flat and straight to Bairstow. Good catch from Bairstow as well. Deep mid-off. 40-49. Zampa is waiting to go up, but it'll be Mitch Stark, if I'm not mistaken, who will come out to the crease. And Pat Cummins is on strike, I think, or is it Stark? They should have crossed. They have crossed. So Pat Cummins is on strike. Mitchell Stark will just try and whack it. Anyway, he only knows one way to bat. So, yeah, we shall see. $110 for 7. Oh, he's cleaned him up. What a delivery. Oh, we're talking about Yorkers. And he's absolutely, mate, he's castled Cummins. It's an 89 mile per hour Yorker. What a delivery from Chris Jordan. Bloody hell. 12 off 3. A good little cameo from Pat Cummins. Oh, mate. Mate, you'll love this.
That proper swung in. That really shaped, didn't it?
What a delivery. Bloody hell. Yeah, it swung so late as well. It's basically swung late into Pat Cummins. Yorker length. What a delivery. Cleans him up. And he has to go. But it's a good little knock, to be fair. 12 off 3 is definitely helpful. He'll just be hoping now that Stark can get some runs here. They're 110. I mean, they're probably looking at 120 now. Hat-trick ball, though, for Jordan. Can we have 2 hat-tricks in a day? With Hasranga get one earlier. Can Jordan get one here? Zampa's not a great bat as well. If I'm Jordan, I'm going Yorker again if I can. Zampa will definitely be expecting it, but it's just whether can he get his bat down in time. If he's bowling that quick, 88 plus miles an hour Yorkers are nothing to be trifled with. So let's see. He's going to block the hell out of this delivery. You can just tell. He definitely would not want to give a hat trick to England. Here you go, hat trick ball. Jordan running in. Oh, yeah, tried to go for the Yorker, missed, kind of ended up being a wide Yorker in the end and just fended off by Zampa into the offside. So no hat trick, but a fantastic start to the over. 2 wickets, only a single so far, 3 balls to go. Really impressive from Chris Jordan.
That's the most important part, really.
Agreed.
Keeping the runs down.
100%. 100%. Yeah, beautiful bowling from Jordan. Really, really good bowling. And that's what he's been so good at for England in the in the past, picking up wickets at the death.
This has been his role for like 5 years, isn't it? Has been to do this.
Yeah, 100%. And then that's why he's still in the side because he's so good at executing it late on.
Did that Yorker swing, or did he just nick it on?
No, I don't think he nicked it on. I think he did swing. It might have even seemed a little bit off the pitch. But I think it definitely swung late from what I can see. Or pulled by Mitch Starc into the leg side. Should only be 1. One only gets round. It will only be 1. But they don't really want Zampa on strike to us. Mitch Starc was really, really looking to run 2 there because Zampa's not particularly good batting. Just so not enough elevation on that. Finch wicket. Tried to go for 6. Go for the big maximum. Johnny Besso looks so weird without any facial hair. He looks so weird.
It doesn't look like him at all, does it?
No, he looks really weird. Needs to get out the beard. Does not look good at all, in my opinion. Right, we go. Well bowled by Jordan. It's a wide Yorker. And Zampa missing by quite a distance as he goes leg side. Very, very interesting. Right, 112 for 8, 18.5 overs. And Adam Zampa's got a strike rate of under 100 and an average of 7.5. So don't really expect too much from him whatsoever. Carnage. Absolute carnage.
So what they're needing from here? They're needing...
Or
the
shots.
ball gets them to 119.
Yeah. Yeah, they're looking at 120 now, I think, really. If they can get 130, that's ideal. They need Stark to go big. So probably, ideally, they're looking at 130. That's what they'll be looking at. But it's definitely a push. Yeah, Zampa just bunting that straight to point. 112 for 8 off 19 overs. So into the last over here. Who will bowl it? It'll probably be...
It's still Mills.
Mills? Yeah, it'll be Mills, won't it? Yeah. 112 for 8. So England very much in control. Looked like there might be a slight momentum shift with those 4 sixes, 2 from Agar and 2 from Cummins, but they were very short-lived. And Australia still, and they've done pretty well to get to over 100, to be honest with you, given the start and how badly they batted throughout. But I don't know how much that's going to make a difference in the result. All right, so this is his...
For today.
Sorry? Pick of the bowlers? Probably say Jordan, actually. I mean, he got Finch, which is a vital wicket. I think did he get Agar? Or was it was Mills that got Agar, wasn't it? But I think Finch, Finch is a big wicket. What a shot from Stark. It's a slower ball on a length. And Stark just punches that down the ground over mid-off for 6. So for 4 even. He doesn't have a long on and long off. Tyrell Mills, which is interesting. So he's obviously going to bowl a few shorter deliveries because I think he's got protection. That's a back of the hand slower ball as well. Stark's picked it. He's waited for it. And he's dispatched that over mid-off. What do you think about him not having anyone at long on or long off?
It's really weird, especially going to bowl that full.
I think he's not trying to. I think he's trying to bowl short or good length, isn't he? That might be why. I think he just got it wrong. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Short, pulled. And I think there you go. He's got 2 men there. So he's got 1 at cow corner, 1 at deep mid wicket. So he's going to bowl short, basically. He's either going to bowl short or kind of good length, but cutters or slow balls are going to pop up. So he's kind of not expecting to hit him down the ground, I guess. And then he's also got cover at deep cover, which again, I guess, is looking again if someone tries to cut him away.
I suppose you're also trying to give them the single, just trying to encourage them to get away.
Exactly, yeah. So he's got someone, and it's like a wide mid on to start. He's got deep mid wicket and a deep square leg.
I do sort of wish that they'd had it on the broadcast for the last 3 overs or 4 overs, just to show you where that hasn't got as big as they normally show it, but it's just a little circle. Just
they did.
So you can see. They did. Yeah. Oh, it might be because I'm behind.
Oh yeah. No, they just that's how I knew. They just
just come up on mine. Yeah. It's a shame because I've been knowing that they can just put it in the top left hand corner just permanently.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, they should. It'll be quite interesting. I agree. Actually,
especially for the last over.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, that'll be quite a good addition. Actually, for sure. 119 for 8. So the 120, I think we can probably say they will get. The 130 is probably out of reach, but you never know. Right, Zampa on strike, that's the issue. I don't think I've ever seen Zampa hit a boundary in my life. So there we go. Oh, he goes to paddle him. I love it. They're going to run. They're going to scramble. I think Zampa's in, actually. They're going to review it out upstairs, looking for a run out at the bowler's end. And they scampered for a leg by. Is Zampa walking off? Oh, he's walking off. He thinks he's out.
Wow.
He's not even waiting for the decision. Interesting. Very weird. Oh, he is. Yeah, because he knows he is.
It's a good throw from Butler.
He should have dived, though. Why didn't he dive? Lack of batting experience. He dives there and he makes it quite easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, walks off Zampa, so not really surprising, honestly. Hazelwood is the last batsman, 119 for 9. I'm not sure really what to say. Just disappointing. 2 balls remaining. I mean, what do you think? Do Australia have any chance of defending this total?
Only if they get 3 wickets in the power play. I think it always comes down to that often. England have got the time to do it. And being back deep enough that we can actually afford to go a bit slower at some point.
Shot from Stark is 6. Oh, what a shot. Pulls Tymor Mills away and it's behind deep square leg. What a shot. Pulls him away, picks the delivery from Mills as well. Well batted, Mitchell Stark. A lot of Australians on their phones, not even bothering to watch. Swiveled by Stark. Good shot, 62 meter 6. And very well batted.
So what's that mean? Mills has gone for 45.
Yeah.
Out of a total of 125.
He's been the weak link today, which is interesting.
It's more than a third.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been quite expensive today, for sure. So there's a wicket, then 6. So last ball of the over. I mean, Stark's just going to try and whack this. A 6 gets them past that 130 mark, which I think is quite symbolic, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I called 127. So I think
You did.
I'm happy to stick with that.
Oh, yeah, I think you might get that, to be fair, as well. I think they might get 2. No, I think he's nicked it. Yeah, he nicks it to Butler. 1-2-5 all out. So a good slower ball from Mills. Expensive, but did the job in the end. Stark runs off. Unfortunately, going to have to bowl straight away, which is the worst thing, isn't it? As a bowler, like when you're basically the batting team is, you've done so badly as a batting team that you have to do a little bit.
You got to go off and try and rescue everything. Just having rescued yourself with 13 from 5 as well, or 13 from 6. But...
yeah, it's basically all on the bowlers.
Yeah,
carnage.
I used to hate it as well. It's one of them things where I think I had the club record for most times next man in.
Oh, really?
For the whole season. I think it was about 10 times that I was next man in over the summer. But anyway,
that's so funny.
All part of the fun. Right, I'll leave you to wrap up. I shall catch you in a bit.
No worries.
Yeah,
Guys,
enjoy.
enjoyed that. I'll try another one. Let me know when you want to do the next one, or some next
Definitely.
game is, etc. But works for me. Thanks, guys. See you in a bit.
No worries.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, bye. Yeah, thanks to Matt. So chase wise, what are we thinking, guys? Are we thinking that Australia can actually defend this? I would say it's pretty unlikely, but you never know. You never know. Genuinely, like it's just one of those things. But 126 runs to win, and very unlikely they will win. But you never know. Get a couple of early wickets. Stark bowling quick, bowling accurately. Cummins as well. Zampa bowling well for the middle overs, and it can all change. So in terms of votes, in terms of people who have voted for who's going to win, 71% of you have said England to win, and 29% of you saying Australia to win. So very, very interesting on that front. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to quickly grab something to drink, and I'll be back.
Hello, people. Right. So we're just waiting for the start of the second innings. And I think England will be very, very happy. They would have been looking to restrict Australia to below 140, and they've done that. 1-2-5 all out. And they bowled extremely well. Obviously, Tymor Mills, the only bowler that you can maybe say could have bowled a bit better, but he had some vital wickets at the end as well, to be fair to him. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how this one goes, but I think realistically, they should be happy with it. Roy and Butler coming out to bat. Obviously, Stark is going to be key early doors because he picks up some wickets early doors, and you're thinking, "Yep, we're in this game, right?" But it's just a question of can he pick up early wickets early doors, and I'm not sure he can. But we shall see. I guess we shall see. But yeah. So 125 for 2. Sorry, 125 all out even, sorry. And I'm very much looking forward to this. All out, and I will be very, very, very surprised. Very surprised if England don't do the business here. Very, very surprised if England don't do the business here. And let's see. Let's see. Right, Butler is coming in, a strike rate of 139, average of 32. Let's see, eh? Economy of 7.23, strike rate of 17. I think the issue with him has been recently form hasn't been as good as it could have been, but yeah, we'll see. See how it all pans out. Stark has to get wickets early doors. Like, it's just so crucial that he does. Like, genuinely, it's just, yeah, so crucial. There we go, 166. 126 even, sorry, to win. Stark running in for the first ball of this over and the innings. Oh, very full, and definitely some swing there. I'll look at it as a 10-over game for Australia. Try out Pat Cummins and Mitchell Stark to open with. They're my two best options to get 3 to 4 early wickets along with Hazelwood. Wickets is the key. Yeah, I'd go with Stark and Hazelwood personally. I think Hazelwood's been very good in the power play, and he's not particularly good at the back end or even in the middle. I think he's just very good at the start. So I think, yeah, I'd go with them. Cummins is, I mean, go with Cummins as well. But yeah, agreed. They have to pick up wickets early. Well pulled from Roy, but that'll just be a single. And Australia will be looking and searching for wickets early doors, which can sometimes be an issue because you search for wickets and you don't always find them. You find that you're bowling a little bit too ill-disciplined in your lines and lengths, and it can affect you. So they'll be hoping to avoid that, but we'll see. Roy off the mark, and now Butler to face Stark. It's just so crucial for Australia to pick up wickets early doors. They'll have to, otherwise it's going to be a massive uphill struggle, no doubt about that. Stark running in, well bowled, and that should be a dot ball, and it is a dot ball. Just having a look at Shaheen and the comparison to Stark. Obviously, another left-hander. And yeah, Stark will be thinking, I need to get the ball up there, get it to swing at high pace, and get it to swing at high pace, and force the batsman to play, and also target the stumps. Let's see. or bowled. Well played by Butler. 91 miles per hour, so starting to rev it up. Butler fends it off though. Well bowled by Mitchell. Starts off here. 2 deliveries remaining in the over as well. I'll be happy so far. We'll be looking to pick up wickets. We'll be looking to pick up wickets. Pick him up ASAP. There we go. Last 2 deliveries. Penultimate. Oh, short and wide, and Roy pulls him away. That'll be 4 runs. Was Butler, sorry, even pulls him away. It's poor bowling. Doesn't actually get all of it. Shakes his hands. I think he's probably towed that, but he gets enough of it. And I'm not sure what Stark was trying to do there. I don't know whether he just missed his line length completely. I'd assume that's the case. But it's a really poor delivery. And Josh Butler cashes in. I don't know if he was attempting the bouncer or what it was, but it just wasn't very good in the end from Mitchell Stark, which is disappointing, honestly. Right, England 5 for naught here. Oh, very full from Stark. Very, very full from Stark. And inside edge onto the pads. So a bit fortunate there, but much better from Stark. That's what he needs. Butler trying to go hard at the ball there and doesn't pick the late swing and inside edges it onto his pads. Just if I was the Aussie coach, my address to the team would be like 120 runs buys us a good 70, 80 balls to bowl them out. Let's make every ball count. Try and make things happen. Apply pressure. It's true. It's very, very true. I agree. I agree. Right, 5 for naught off that first over. Hazelwood will also open up. He will be bowling the second over here. And he's normally right on the money, to be fair. So they'll need that from Hazelwood. They'll need him to frustrate the England batsmen, keep them at bay. Oh no, he doesn't. Oh, he strays off his line and length. It's short and it's drifting onto the pads. And Roy pulls away into the cow corner boundary for 4. It's not well bowled at all from Hazelwood and very unlike him, to be honest, to start off like that. Yeah, Roy's just he's cashed in there really. I think he's read the length early, knows where he's pretty much going to try and target and just put Hazelwood off his length. This time stays in his crease and tucks it around the corner, well batted. And it's Stark that gets round. And it's just a single. Win predictor says 85% for England, 15% for Australia. Yeah, that's pretty much how I'm reading the game as well, honestly. It's going to be quite tough, genuinely, for Australia here. It's going to be extremely tough for them to get anything from this game, but we shall see. Cricket is a weird game. It can change at any moment in time. Can you imagine if Namibia qualify? I'll be so ecstatic. Genuinely. So ecstatic. Right, so 11 for naught off 1.3 overs, 4 and a 1, and now another single for from Hazelwood even. Not ideal, is it? Not ideal at all. Afghanistan versus Namibia is tomorrow. We also have India versus New Zealand, which will be a very, very big game. For sure. Right, here we go. 3 balls left in the over. Already 6 from the first 3. Well bowled. Very well bowled from Hazelwood, but that'll be too high. Traps him on the front foot, trying to go back. Yeah, very, very interesting. Right, Hazelwood running in. Or back of a length, and Roy just runs it down to third man. Pace is up at 87 miles per hour, but just not quite managing to trouble Roy at all. Apart from that penultimate delivery, which was well bowled, seeming a little bit trapping Roy, but as I said, too high. Just, yeah, hasn't looked as dangerous as you'd expect. And Jason Roy hitting 60 against Bangladesh in the last game, so he's definitely got his confidence up. Butler tries to paddle Hazelwood. I think he's hit that. I think it's a fluff. Yeah, he's fumbled that, Matt Wade. And yeah, decent over for England. 13 for naught, 8 off that over. 2 overs gone. And so far, it's looking pretty comfortable, honestly, for England. They don't look phased whatsoever, which is honestly a bit of a nightmare. Right, Pat Cummins, really good economy of 6.9. Needs to be on the money here. No, starts off with a wide. He's trying to hone in on the pads there. But yeah, just seems down the leg side, shakes his head. Just a little bit loose from Pat Cummins, but you'll get back on it, you'd imagine. One of the best bowlers around, Pat Cummins, nowadays, especially in Test cricket. He's definitely up there. Really, really phenomenal Test player. ODI is pretty damn good as well. I'd say, again, T20 is probably his weakest format, but he's still got a phenomenal record. Well bowled again from Pat Cummins this time. Well, much better bowled from Pat Cummins, seaming in to the gloves of Roy, who just, or Butler even, who pads. What's wrong with me? Pads it. Who gloves it into the leg side for no run. So, yeah, they look a bit wounded, don't they? The Australian team. Not in a good way either. Don't look good. They look struggling, honestly. It's not good. Or flicked into the leg side. We'll go back for 3. Oh, it's a no ball. So it's a free hit. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, that's pretty poor from Pat Cummins. And yeah, he's now going to have to attempt to make amends here. Really, really poor. Right, Roy looks. He's going to try and whack the heck out of this. Let's have a look. Great slow ball bounce, and Roy just leaves it. He looks to see whether it's a wide. It's not. It's just one for the over. Very well bowled. I don't know why Roy didn't just go after it. He he got completely deceived there. But very well bowled from Pat Cummins. Gets away with a free hit, so he'll be happy about that. Roy probably should do a lot better there, honestly. Oh, shot. What a shot from Jason Roy. Doesn't cash in on the free hit, but he cashes in on the next delivery. Huge 6 over Cal Corner. What a shot from a phenomenal player in Jason Roy. Really, really good stuff from the Englishman. Really impressive stuff from Jason Roy. Trust India versus New Zealand would practically be the quarterfinals. Can't see how the loser of the game makes it to the playoffs. Yeah, unless Afghanistan beats the winner, I guess. Is the only way, I think. Although that could change. Oh, bowled by Pat Cummins. Very well bowled. Very full Yorker length. And Roy can't get under that or through it. That shot, though, the pickup shot from Roy. Beautiful shot. And he does hit a clean ball when he's timing the ball nicely. All right, 13 off 9 for Jason Roy. Slow ball from Cummins and clipped into the leg side, but should only be 1. Will only be 1 as well. Very impressive stuff from, very, very impressive stuff from Australia, not from... Wow. That's absolutely crazy. Jason Roy just hit that ball 143 kilometers, which is like 88 miles an hour. Yeah, well bowled and well played by Jason Roy. Manages to dig out the Yorker. That's a very expensive over 14 from it. Pat Cummins has been a little bit disappointing in this T20 World Cup, honestly. He's a very good bowler, but just hasn't quite been in the best of form. 9 over is what England are going at, and this is it's pretty poor from this side. Need to be doing a lot better here. All right, Ash Nagar comes on, so definitely probably a positive, you'd assume. Yeah, I mean, Agar versus Jason Roy is a good matchup. Left arm spin. Definitely does not like bowling or facing left arm spin, Jason Roy, from what I know. So, yeah. We shall see how that goes. Okay, so no injury for Mitchell Marsh. So he said restructure, which means it's tactical change. Interesting, because I think Mitchell Marsh is a very good player. Yeah. I trust is what is Agar's USP. I think it's that economy of 6.75 in T20 internationals, right? So his USP is that he'll be tight and he also offers you spin on a turning track, whereas Mitchell Marsh is a seamer who hasn't really been bowling. Batting wise, he can hit lower down the order, but his USP is his left arm spin. It's the angle, his height bounce that he gets, and it's his bowling ability, really, more than anything. He's just a good all-round cricketer, Shanega. Oh. Well, bowled Agar. What good use of the feet, though, from Butler. Punched it towards mid-off and a single there. There you go, Agar. Oh, well bowled. Well played from Roy. Into out. And those drive towards the man at deep mid-off. Right, so 31 for North. This is just turning out to be extremely comfortable so far for England. Oh, use of the feet. That's a big shot. That's 6. That's a huge shot from Butler. His head's all over the place when he's hit that. And when I say head all over the place, it's just kind of cocked to one side, but it's still, and that's the key. And he hits that so cleanly over deep mid-off. Really, really good shot from Joss Butler. 6 all the way and into second stand. Good use of the feet. And again, not hitting it. Hitting it almost like a flick almost. He's just very wristy. Not really the archetypal drive down the ground. Doesn't matter because it's super effective. 91 meter 6. Very, very well hit. Oh, a bold Ashenagar this time though. Almost managing to cramp Joss Butler and force him into a false shot. But in the end, it's well fended off by Butler and no run. So, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're 36 for naught. So it's been 37, sorry, even for naught. A very, very good start from... very, very good start from England here. Easy as you like, honestly. Easy as you like. I'm not quite sure what Australia can do here to stop this. I don't think it's enough on the board. They need early wickets, and that's not quite happening. What do you do from here? I don't know, honestly. Honestly, it's very, very hard. There you go, Hazel running in. Yeah, well bowled, very good length. And Roy just pats that away for a dot ball. I trust us to get Stark and Zampa in, so yeah. I think they're scared to bowl Zampa in the power play. Stark, I agree with. I think get him in now. I'm not sure why they only bowled him 1 over. If he goes for runs, he goes for runs, but they need wickets, don't they? So I agree. 92% chance of England winning, says the win predictor now. And an easy single there. Roy just padding that down, or patting that down even, to mid-on. That's a really... I was going to say poor fielding, but it's not. It's just... Unfortunately, where the field's placed, it ends up being an easy single, but it could do better there. Current run rate is 8.77, required is 5.62. So, yeah, there's a lot to unpack here, that's for sure. For Australia, if they lose this, I mean, not quite sure where they go from here in terms of how to approach games. I think obviously the total wasn't big enough, but at the moment they need to go at less than a run a ball, and that's a fantastic shot from Butler, digging out a Yorker length delivery, almost gone for 4, but it's good fielding in the end. I think it's Steve Smith, but it'll be 3 runs, will it? Yeah, well run and very good fielding. So saved 1 there, Steve Smith. Very, very well fielded. Right, so Australia need a wicket. They need a wicket ASAP, honestly. going to be extremely hard for them to kind of have any chance of winning if they don't get any wickets in the power play. Bowled from Hazelwood. Run opportunity. Oh, it's there. That was a chance. If Steve Smith had to have a direct hit there, if he did, potentially he's out. Smith looks like he's hurt his knee, which is not good. It was short. Roy just... Oh, yeah. Pass into the offside. I think, yeah, he would have been in anyway. It was good running from Butler, backing up well, even if it was a direct hit. And Smith looks like he's injured himself. I think he strained his groin or quad. Just looking at the body language of the Australian players, they seem to have thrown the towel. Not enough excitement and energy around. Needs some chin music and feisty words. Yeah, they seem to have just given up, honestly. And I think the issue is as well, there's a whole lot going on in the background with, unfortunately with the coaching, with Justin Lanka. Kind of seems to be a bit of a marriage of convenience at the moment more than anything. And I just think overall, this is kind of just shows the golfing class between the two teams at the moment, which is a bit... It's not shocking to see because I think coming into this, I expected Australia to potentially not even make the semi-finals. They've given themselves a good chance winning the first two games, and they still could if they win the rest of their games, even if they lose against England here. So not the end of the world in terms of the overall tournament, but I think it's definitely a shock to the system how they're getting comprehensively beaten here. Butler pulls, and he pulls. One bounce, 4, 2 cow corner. Really good from Josh Butler. 24 or 15. Just pulls him away. It's too easy, really. Way too easy for him. And it's a really poor over from Hazelwood in the end. 11 off it. And England are looking to score quickly. They're not looking to just knock it off slowly. They're looking to really thrash Australia here, and that will help their net run rate as well even more to solidify themselves and get through to the semi-finals. There you go, 78 from 90 balls. Required a run rate of 5.2. Very, very impressive indeed. Very impressive. Yeah, sixes are big, man. They're big boy shots. Pretty good. And it's just that shot over deep mid off was cow corner is such a big shot from Butler, and just really dispatching Hazelwood on that good length, putting him off his length. Stark is on for his second over. Run opportunity. Oh, I think he probably was in. Steve Smith again. He's really pushing himself, but I think he might be injured. Let's have a look. Oh, it's Steve Smith. Little fist bump from Josh Butler there. 49 for 0. They're cruising. They're absolutely cruising here. Don't look like they're in trouble whatsoever. Australia don't look likely to take a wicket anytime soon, and that's the issue right now. They don't look up for it here, the Aussies. They don't. Milan stretching, looking to obviously he will most likely come in next. Oh, what a shot! That's 6. It's Josh Butler. No foot movement, doesn't need to because his hand-to-eye timing is so sublime. Absolutely crunches it down the ground for 6. Mitch Stark gets dispatched. And it's in the slot really from Mitchell Stark. And Josh Butler makes him pay. I told you they're just not going to hold back. They're not going to play the situation. They're just going to play how they know they can. If it's a bad ball, they'll put it away. They're going to play aggressively, England. They want to get this done quickly. That's a 94-meter six. It's huge from Joss Butler. And Stoinis looks on, and England just look a completely different outfit to Australia at the moment. Oh, again. Oh, that's big. It's full from Stark, and it's another six. And Joss Butler is going absolutely berserk right now. That's back-to-back sixes. 90 miles an hour, doesn't matter. It's on his legs, and he absolutely destroys him over long on for six. This time, it's not even full. He actually tries to pull back his length a little bit, and Joss Butler goes flat bat over deep mid-on for six. Charles broke the ball. What a shot. Wow. Yeah, really good shot from Joss Butler. His eyes in. He's looking to motor, and he's looking to make a statement here, Joss Butler. He really is. .36 from 17. He's going to go again. I don't think he's going to hold back here. If he's in the slot, he'll go. Yeah, he just drives into the offside. Shouldn't be a run, and it's not. Better from Stark. Much fuller into the block hole there. Just about 300 sixes in T20 internationals, so or T20 just in general, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's just half volley, the first one. Second one is actually pulled it back a little bit, the length, and Butler just got under it. It's difficult. Oh, he's lost his line length there. So wide down leg side. Asking whether he's gloved it behind and whether they should review it, but Stark's saying he's not sure, which probably means it's not. He hasn't touched it. 2 balls remaining. Still got Milan, Bairstow, Morgan, Moyne, Livingston, Wokes, Jordan, Rashid, Mills. I mean, they back down to 8, I would say, with Wokes at 8. Jordan and Rashid can whack it. They can, but they're definitely not, accomplished batsmen in that regard. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, we go. Stark running in. Oh, it's carted away by Joss Butler into the offside. Will it be 4? The fielder should get there. He does get there. Good flick in the air. I think it's might be Steve Smith, actually, and it's Maxwell with a throw in. So, yeah, 2 is Steve Smith. Very, very, very good stuff. Right, we go. Stark running in. Last ball of the over, and just gloved into the leg side for a single. So that's a really expensive over. 18 off that over. And the experiment of Stark not paying off, unfortunately. 66 for 6. Sorry, 66 for naught off 6 overs. Carnage. It's a chance that it's been 6 years since England got knocked out of the World Cup by Bangladesh. And that Oval seems like those days are ancient history now. Everything about the Poms has changed. Indeed, it's true. Yeah, agreed. And they're probably the best white ball side in the world, no doubt. I think it's pretty hard to disagree. I'm very interested to see actually how our 2023 ODI World Cup goes. That'll be interesting. Next year, teams like South Africa and Australia will have more an advantage on the Australian decks because the quick bowlers will have more purchase on there. Spinners won't be as telling. I think New Zealand will be quite strong next year as well, but we'll see. This T20 World Cup is still to play for. Reverse swept by Jason Roy. Zampa's on. And they're looking for him to break the partnership here, get the breakthrough they've needed and wanted for a very, very long time. There you go, Zampa. Oh, that looks very close. Probably turning too much and missing off stump as they appeal. Oh, they're going to review. They're going to review, though. They're going to go upstairs. They're going to have a look at it. Don't blame them either, to be honest with you. Why not? Why not? Yeah, very well bowled. Let's have a look. He might actually have a little bit of a point here, Zampa. Gonna have a quick look. There we go. He's not gloved or hit it. So they're going to have a look at ball tracking. Interesting. Let's have a look. Oh, I reckon that could be out. It's pitched in line. It's just where it's missing off stump. No, it's hitting. So they get the breakthrough. Zampa gets the breakthrough they wanted. Very, very good from Adam Zampa. Really impressive stuff. Picks up the wicket they've been looking for. Very, very good. Has to be said from Adam Zampa. Really impressive, like genuinely extremely impressive stuff. Yeah. So good from Adam Zampa. And Jason Roy has to go. And it's the breakthrough they needed and wanted. So yeah, good stuff from Adam Zampa. Will it make much of a difference in the outcome of the match? Probably not. But you never know. Can he go through some of the lineup here? Zampa maybe. But he'll definitely need to bowl a phenomenal spell if he's to do that. As we talked about Hasaranga hat-trick on a losing cause, I don't know whether he's going to be able to pick up something similar here, but he'll probably have to if he wants to have any chance of getting or giving England a chance in this match. Right, so Zampa's picked up that wicket. Dawid Malan's in, which obviously is a very, very, yeah. I mean, it's what you want, isn't it? You want to have a left-hander on for the leg spinner, which is understandable. It's understandable. Right, there we go. Got slipping as well. Well bowled. It's he does bowl a good googly, does Adam Zampa, so that will help for sure. It very much will help. Right, 66 for 1. 6.3 overs gone. Oh, bowled, Adam Zampa. Very, very well bowled. Yeah, he's trying to reverse sweep him again, Jason Roy, and not the right choice. Well, you might say it is the right choice, just didn't execute it properly. That's what he might turn around and say, and he might be right. But in this instance, not coming off. Right, so Adam Zampa on right now. He's bowling pretty well, isn't he? Let's be honest. He really is. Oh, good shot into the offside. Good from Zampa. Only 2 from it and a wicket. More of that is what Australia will be hoping for. But England are just looking extremely strong right now, and I'm not quite sure what they're going to have to do. They're just going to have to hope for a miracle, honestly. England. Yeah, I mean, he's hit that at 140 Ks. That's 6. Stark is going to carry on. I think they realise the importance of just having to pick up wickets now. So he might go, Butler might hit him again, but it doesn't matter because the game's going to be over otherwise before Stark comes back later. So I'm just going to go for broke. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with the approach at all, honestly. It's shorter from Stark. It might be pace off actually as well. Butler pulls away straight to fine leg. Yep, slower ball from Stark. Yeah, just having a look at those. That shot is such a big one. Second one was 80. It was 95 meters, so 94 and 95 meter sixes. Wow, so big. There you go, 69 for 1. All right, let's see. Milan. This is quite a good matchup for Stark, I'd assume. Although Milan does like pace. Or a bold. Yorker length. 90 miles an hour. Milan, though, gets a little inside edge and smiles to Stark. Oof. Bold. Almost chops onto his stumps as well. Got a bit fortunate that he didn't play on. There we go. Stark running in, sorry. Good shot from Milan. Oh, it's a beautiful shot. Cuts him away behind backward point for 4. Stark probably thinking, come on. That previous ball was such a beauty. How did I not get his wicket there? Adjusts his line length, goes shorter, but it's just short and wide. Milan just cashes in, and it's pretty poor from Stark. Honestly, I think Australia have looked pretty much a shadow of themselves, a shadow of the team that beat Sri Lanka. That's for sure. It's kind of more of the same of what they had against South Africa, honestly. Although the bowling was much better against South Africa. Flicked into the leg side. And they don't have much to play with, so I understand that they have to play and bowl aggressively. So that does mean that eventually you will end up searching for wickets and potentially going for runs. I get that, but yeah, I just think, it could have done better than they have done. That's for sure. Right, 74 for 1 off 7.4 overs. Right, 2 balls remaining and 6 runs from the over so far. Butler, though, he goes down the ground. There's no one there. There's no one at long off. And Butler cashes in 4 runs, and he's fast approaching 50. And he's just making it look easy. He really is. Yeah, he's just standing and delivering. That's pretty much what Butler's doing, and he's doing it with ease. Low full toss and cashes in Butler. Poor bowling from Stark, though. It's not on the money. I think he doesn't know where to bowl to Butler. That's the problem. Butler pulls him away. That'll be 4 as well. 1 bounce 4. And really, Butler is probably going to give Stark nightmares tonight because he's just cashing in every time. He's definitely got his number here, Butler. 82 for 1 off 8 overs. They're going at 10 and over. Blistering start from England, and they are just reaffirming why they are one of, if not the favourites for the World Cup. They are playing extremely well. So good, though, isn't it? It's very, very impressive. It really is. Right, 82 for 1 off 8 overs. So, yeah, 49-24. But Bairstow just looks like Bairstow will be in next. I guess because Zampa was bowling, so they want that matchup with spin. He plays spin very well, does Joss Butler for the most part. Sorry, does Johnny Bairstow even. Yeah, bold Zampa, but Milan just punches it down the ground to long off for an easy single. So this is the issue now that England are going to have, Australia are going to have even. And the issue is that how do they contain England? No idea. Literally no idea. Problem. Well, that's the problem. Comes down the ground. Oh, it's a big one. Butler's gone big. Oh, he's gone huge. And I'll tell you what, he's 50 is up, and that is a really, really good knock from Joss Butler. A very impressive knock. It's it's been a blistering 50 from a fantastic player. It really is. 55 of 25 for Joss Butler, and used his feet so well to Zampa there. And it's quite hard to use your feet to Zampa for the most part because he's quite small. The flight puts on the ball is not as much flight as a normal leg spinner would because of the height difference, and he bowls a bit flatter. But Butler moved really well there to get to the pitch of that and dispatched it for 6. Zampa coming up, goes wider, and Butler cuts away, but well fielded at point. Just a single. Butler looks like he's in phenomenal form here. Again, like 102 meters, it's absolutely huge. And again, like it's not a traditional shot. He's kind of just hit through the ball, kind of almost very wristy again. But it works for him. Chipped up in the air by down Milan, but it's fine. It'll be a single. There's no one at mid-off. And Steve Smith at long-off picks up the ball there. So 90 for 1 here. And England only need 36 more runs. This is going to be knocked over quite easily. If Butler stays in till the end, this could be over in 3 or 4 overs, honestly. Uses his feet again, and this time goes over deep cover. It's a fantastic stop by David Warner diving. Really is. Butler uses his feet. Zampa, though, does. He chases. He follows him. Goes wider. And it's very, very clever bowling, but Butler does so well. Abdullah says, just wanted to drop by and say hi from the stadium. Are you actually in the stadium, Abdullah? No way. Are you actually in the stadium? If you are, then I'll tell you what. Enjoy, mate, and fair play to you. But this could be over very quickly, Abdullah, if it is. Definitely, couldn't it? 93 for 1, though. 1 ball remaining. Oh, reverse swept him. Oh, for 4. That's a really expensive one. Butler is just, it's just so easy for him at the moment. He's just making everything look so easy. And this is why he's one of the most dangerous T20 players around. Very, very, very impressive from Joss Butler. And the Australians don't know where to bowl to him. 15 off the over, 97 for 1 off 9 overs, and they can knock this over very, very quickly. And this looks like this is going to be an embarrassing, crushing defeat for Australia, to be honest with you. No idea how they come back from here. I think it's pretty much impossible. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, it is becoming a statement, that's for sure. Crazy. Right, 97 for 1 off. Oh, he's got him. Oh, he's got Sasha Agar. And he's got Milan. So really good delivery. Milan. Oh, what is he doing? Abdullah says, yeah, that is why I came in disappointed by the Australians. Mate, you must be absolutely fuming because it's not been a competitive game at all, Abdullah, has it? It really hasn't. It really hasn't. Abdullah says, by the way, I can barely hear you. It's very loud here. No problem at all, mate. But yeah, I can imagine why you're disappointed because honestly, it's not been competitive whatsoever. Milan, though, goes. Dawood Milan, he continues his pretty poor form recently. Number 1 T20 batsman, but he hasn't been playing like it as of late. Agar picks up the wicket, but it's not going to change the result here. Australia, very, very much on the verge of a crushing defeat. Seriously, it will be horrendous. It genuinely will be. But yeah, really, really poor. Really poor. Right, so how long do we think it's going to be before this gets wrapped up? I reckon we've got 3 more overs max. Absolutely max. Carnage. Right, so England are just too strong, aren't they? I'm not quite sure who's going to beat them. I mean, look, as a Pakistan fan, I'd like to think and say that we have a chance against them, but it would be very, very tough, no doubt. I think, yeah, it wouldn't be easy, that's for sure. And I think England are definitely the favourites, especially if Joss Butler's going to play like this. I just feel like it's very, very tough to shackle him when he's playing like this. He seems to be in really, really good form. That's kind of and very, very worrying. Not kind of, it's very worrying for the rest of the teams. Charles says 2 epic rivalries, 2 one-sided games. What is happening? I don't know. I'm not sure, honestly. I think it's just. In the Pakistan India game, I don't think we're going to see something like that. I don't think we're going to see Pakistan beating India like that for a bit of time again, to be fair. I think that was a one-off in terms of the way it unfolded. I can't see us thrashing India like that again. England and white ball cricket are just much better than Australia, especially in T20 stuff. Australia don't put any emphasis whatsoever on T20 cricket, and that is why they're feeling it now. They're feeling it because they're getting absolutely thrashed, and rightly so because there's been no investment into the T20 format, and it's hurting them. It's hurting them in this tournament. And it was only a matter of time before they got found out. I did say that I didn't think they'd even met the semi-finals, and I wouldn't be surprised if they still don't because South Africa, yes, they haven't played England yet, but they can still make it through. You never know. So Joss Butler, when he hit Zampa, that 102 meter 6, it was 153 kilometers. That's 93 miles an hour. Oh, so Tark says, which 4 teams will make it? Pakistan and England? Pakistan and England making the top of each table. Which other team will make it? Not sure. Not sure, honestly. No idea. It's difficult, you know. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a misfield, and they're looking for a run. There's no run there, though. Don't be crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think, look, India potentially. I mean, tomorrow is going to be crucial. The India-New Zealand game is pretty much, I think Charles said it, is almost like a quarterfinal, honestly. It's almost like a quarterfinal. Whoever wins that has got a very good chance of coming second, unless Afghanistan beat India and New Zealand, which, you know, they've got the capability of doing it, but it's probably not a very likely scenario. But you never know. But I would assume that most likely it's going to be the winner of India New Zealand tomorrow will be the other semi-finalist. And in this group, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Bakua length from Agar. And Butler's pushed that into the offside. So 99 for 2 off 10. And this is going to be over very, very soon. That's all I'm going to say. Well, bowled though, by the way, from Ashton Agar. Just put on a spot. And they needed that earlier, to be honest with you. Honestly. They needed it earlier. And it didn't come. A little bit too little, too late, as people like to say. Right, 27 from 60 balls needed. Not sure. What do we think? I reckon they'll get it 3 overs. 3 overs. That's my prediction. Could get it in less. They could get it in less if Butler does this. They could get in a lot less. Butler has dispatched Zampa. He's used his feet again. And he's just not letting Zampa off the hook. And he doesn't care if they don't need to go at much. He's just like, yeah, we're going to get it done now. He gallops down the track and dispatches him over. Long on for 6. What a shot. 83 meters. Start says, I won't count out Afghanistan yet. On any day they can topple a big team. Yeah, I think obviously they need to win tomorrow against Namibia, which is, Namibia, you never know. Well, they won their first game against Scotland. And then obviously go from there, we'll see. But yeah, again, comes down the track. This time, though, flicks to long on for a single. Butler is just looking imperious right now. He's 70 off 31. He's just making them pay. He's making Australia pay here, Joss Butler. Yeah, this innings from Butler is definitely a statement. The commentators are kind of alluding to that, and it's definitely true. It's a statement, no doubt. I mean, he's definitely making a statement in this knock, that's for sure. And this time is best, though. He gets in on the action. It's 6 for him. It's a bludgeoning blow. Morgan shakes his head as if like, flipping out. These guys are good. And it really is. I was going to say that 6 landed nowhere near me. Fair enough. What a shot from Best, though. Genuinely. Huge. Unbelievable. Like, genuinely unbelievable stuff from England. It's so easy. Zampa, by the way, is he getting found out a little bit here? I thought he bowled quite well in the last couple of matches. Is he good enough as an elite spinner in the T20 format? I don't know, because Bester just dispatched him again. He's getting taken to the cleaners. They could do it in this over. What a shot from Johnny Bester. I said 3 overs. It could be done in 1. What a shot. His slog swept Zampa for 6. He's such a good player of spin. And I'm kind of struggling here to now see how Australia get through if this happens against England, because is the gap really that big between these two teams? It certainly seems it. Charles, England's white ball team is scary good. They're miles ahead of any other team in international cricket. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah, it's hard to disagree, to be honest with you. They can lose in any tournament on any given day, obviously, but in terms of, I think, overall strength and depth, 100% they're better. No run there, and one ball remaining from the over, and already 19 from it. Having a look at the sixes, these two from Bairstow, bludgeoning one over long one, and then a slog sweep, and two of his favourite shots to spinners, and he's so strong in that leg side arc is Johnny Bairstow. You won't see him hit many sixes over, for example, extra cover or point. He knows his strengths and he sticks to them, and he's very good in those arcs. And he goes again this time, doesn't get all of it, but it's one bounce straight to the man at deep mid wicket. So they'll get it in the next over. So it's not going to be 3 overs, it's going to be 2, I think. 7 needed to win is 119 for 2 off 11 overs. And England, Zampa he puts his hands on his hips. He looks absolutely gobsmacked and distraught. Abdullah says, I wanted to enjoy this stream, but I'm so sorry I can't hear anything because of the noise. Fans are crazy with what we are seeing. No problem at all, Abdullah. If you don't mind, please do like the stream, guys. If you're watching, I do appreciate everyone tuning in, and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much. So Tart says, do you find the post-match interviews a bit bizarre? Questions were asked about politics and Nabi yesterday. Thoughts? Yeah, weird. I mean, I don't know why they're talking about politics. That's a bit stupid, honestly. They should stick to just cricket. Is my honest opinion on it. And yeah, they shouldn't be asking them anything politically. Oh, I think he's nicked that. He has best, so that's going to run away. Potentially might run away for 4. Yeah, it will. It will. Yeah, Agar just smiles. Yeah, crazy. I genuinely think, I don't see why they need to talk about anything else. They just talk about cricket, stick to that. That's it. Enjoy it, right? 3 needed, by the way. Abdullah says, take care and catch you next time. Thank you, Abdullah. Appreciate it. Swept away by Johnny Bairstow and well fielded in the end. Should just be 2. They look for 3. We'll look for 2, actually. I don't think they only ran a single there. They did, yeah. It was only a single. Morgan just looks on, and Morgan, Moyne didn't really have to do anything today. They're just chilling. I mean, Moyne has bowled 4 overs in the first 2 matches. Didn't bowl in this match because of the matchup with Finch. Don't know. Oh my god, weird. Went to paddle and then realised he couldn't, so then just kind of dabs it around the corner. And it's poor fielding, to be fair, and goes past the outstretching arm of short third man for a single. So 1 run needed, and England are going to wrap this up with plenty to spare. This is the thrashing, every proportions. Bairstow punches it into the offside. Easy win. And in fact, there's no one there. But Bairstow checking in. It is game over. England win, and they win by 8 wickets. An absolute thrashing. Honestly, an absolute thrashing. Crazy. Absolutely crazy, honestly. Not impressive at all from Australia. Really, really poor. And they'll definitely be looking at themselves and thinking about how they can improve come the rest of the group games, honestly, because this was absolute carnage. It genuinely was, and it was fireworks, no doubt, from Joss Butler, who batted phenomenally well. But it was just poor. So poor from an England perspective. Joss Butler batted extremely well. I mean, he looked phenomenal, didn't he? He really did. Really looked good. did Joss Butler, and they get there with a lot to spare, do England. So easy as you like from England and Joss Butler. Butler was 71 not out of 32 balls, a strike rate of 222, 5 4s and 5 6s, absolutely dispatching Mitchell Starc and Adam Zampa, especially. Those two he just took a liking to, including 102 meter 6 and a couple of 94, 95 meter 6s. This guy is a phenomenon for sure, and an unbelievable knock. And England absolutely thrashed Australia by 8 wickets here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Please remember to like the stream if you haven't already. Do subscribe as well to get more content like this and more live streams. And if you click the notification bell as well, you get alerts to all the new videos. We also have had a lot of interviews with pro cricketers, county and international. Do check it out on our playlist, cricket interviews. There are 2 interviews with players actually at this World Cup, Mark Watts and Hayden Walsh Jr. So do check it out. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.